Of Amite High School, Miss Ora Finn. Miss Finn, we have a packed house here tonight.
Yes, we certainly do. I tell you what, it's beyond my expectations. I knew it would be a big one, but I didn't realize it would be this big.
Independence ranked number 2 in the state. Amite ranked number 1 in the state. This says a lot for great football in Tangipahoa Parish, and Amite's always had good football.
Yes, it has, and it's a tradition here at Amite. Our loyal fans follow us regardless, so we were looking for a crowd tonight, but I tell you, I really didn't expect this crowd.
We still have a little less than an hour to go, and I'm sure we've got over 3,500 here now, and it's going to exceed that.
Well, I really was a little hesitant to say 3,000, but I'd bet on it tonight.
Without a doubt. Miss Finn, Amite Independence, long-time rivalry, great ball game in itself. If both teams were 0-6 this time, it'd still be a big game tonight.
It certainly would. It has always been a tradition, and it's a friendly rivalry. I am originally from Independence. My relatives are there. Mr. Mabry, the principal, and I are friends, high school classmates, college classmates in the same church. So it's just friends and neighbors and relatives, and it's just a bragging rights, really.
Exactly right. All the kids seem to know each other, and the student bodies, and everybody knows everybody, and this has just been building up as a big ball game since the season started. And being ranked number 1 and 2 with all the subplots, this game have more media coverage than any game you've been involved with at Amite High School.
That is right. I think that's the icing on the cake. That is the icing on the cake.
And there's also a chance we might see both of these teams meet in the playoffs. I believe they're that good. We've watched other teams around the state. It's highly likely both these teams will meet later on in the playoffs.
It is possible, and hopefully, it does happen. We'll try them again.
Ms. Finn, I want to commend you once again, as we did earlier, on the support your faculty and your administration did in this ball game, and it seems like everybody's here tonight and everything's in order, everything went smoothly.
Again, I want to thank God for holding up the rain, for allowing us to put all of this together. As you know very well, in preparing for any event, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it before the kickoff, and I want to take this opportunity to thank my teachers, staff, janitors, everyone, Boosters Club members, parents, all of the supporters that have come out to help us get ready for tonight. And certainly there's an unpaid, unsalaried staff member, my husband. I want to thank him because he helps out in any capacity that I call for.
Well, I'm going to ask you a few more questions. It seems tonight that this game, more magnitude than any high school game I've been associated, and also one more thing I want to comment I'd like to make before is that we did a special on Tangipahoa Television, and I want to thank you once again for your cooperation. Everybody was here, just as you say there would be. At the time, Amite High School is definitely a great school, and y'all have been so helpful with everything.
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
Well, Miss Finn, we have somebody else here joining us, and maybe you can tell us who this is.
You'll note somebody has been trailing me all afternoon. This is my baby. She's home from Grambling State. This is her first time back home since she left for the fall semester. So she picked the right weekend to come home.
Definitely the right weekend to come home. And are you amazed by the amount of people here already so far?
Well, already, yes.
How did you being from this town and all, how does this game, as being an alumni now for Amite High School, how does this game fit in proportion? It's just a great rivalry?
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing the outcome.
I'll tell you what, the outcome, we could flip a coin. It could go either way as long as nobody gets hurt and we see a safe ball game, and hopefully God can keep the rain off of us, and we prayed for that beforehand. Miss Finn, once again, thanks for all your support and help with Tangipahoa Television.
Thank you so much, and I hope that everyone will enjoy the game and have a great time, and certainly that no one gets hurt.
Any last comments?
No.
She's a little shy tonight, but that's okay. Thank you, Miss Finn. And we'll be back with the broadcast of Tangipahoa Television. The crowd is enormous here tonight. We've already been moved around and shuffled around and tried to deal with the crowd, but at most part, the fans here at Amite High School and the fans on the other side from Independence High School have been real cooperative.
Well, folks, this is a moment we've been waiting for. Independence, Amite. It doesn't get any better. Number 1 against number 2. It's been raining most of the day. We've been on the field, and in fact, we're going to have a different posse lineup this time for Tangible Television. I'm Mickey Trish. I'm going to be the host. I'm going to be on the field doing a little running around trying to get you some insight. We got Linda DePaula and Ron Gocho. We're giving you some talking about our sponsors. And on the play-by-play right behind me, this big tall guy, Todd Rossnagel and Benny Latino are going to be on us. So it's been hyped up, been typed up. We're about moments away. It's kind of like Christmas time. You know, the anxiety towards the Christmas Eve. We're getting ready to open the gift, and we're hoping it's going to be a good one for you folks to look at. So we're going to bring in and let you listen to our sponsors first and thank those people who bring you to this game. And then we'll talk to Todd and Benny about what we hope will be an exciting game.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for bringing you this program.
Linda, the sponsors tonight, People's Bank of Amite, Hometown Farm and Garden Center, the Drive-In Drugstore at Amite, Alessi's of Amite, Huck Milling Company of Independence, Jerry Trebona, Gazzardo's Cleaners, Custom Tees and Sweats, Big 4 Auto Parts and Smitty's, State Representative Buster Gazzardo, Pete's Value Right Pharmacy, Buster's Furniture Company, Hustler City and City Glass, and the Amite Chiropractor Clinic. That's a long list, isn't it?
It is, and also Robert's Hair Design in Hammond, who always makes me look so good. Well, Mickey, we're about ready for kickoff, but do stay tuned, and we'll be bringing you the full halftime show.
Thank you, Linda. Well, earlier we gave you the Battle for Number 1, a special that we did last week. And we know what Todd Rossnagel picked. He picked Independence. We're sitting on the Amite sideline. They got nooses with his name all over it. Todd Rossnagel. I mean, they're about to hang you on this side because they know you picked Independence. I think Benny was kind of leaning towards Amite. Let's ask you why you picked Independence, and Benny, and we'll get to you.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting football game, Mickey, and we've been talking about this game all week long. The crowd is unbelievable. Then as you look around, at least 5 or 6 deep around the fences, and it's just a toss-up, and I just decided to flip a coin and see who came out on top, and I picked Independence, but unfortunately I'm on the Amite side, and I may regret it near the end of this football game because it's too close to call.
I think Benny, that's why he didn't give you a call yet. It was Benny Latino. He didn't give you any kind of call. Benny, what's your opinion of it?
Well, it's going to be a close ball game, Mickey, as we all anticipated, but I tell you what, it's out of control. That's how I'm going to say it so far. The fans are out of control. This is the most people I've seen in a high school football game except for the state championship in one sitting. I'm saving my own hide and had to pick Amite. We're on the Amite side, but we'll just have to wait and see. They came up here. Me and Todd walked up together, and the fans were already giving him a hard time. Hey, that's Todd, the guy that picked Independence. What about? So I have to go with Amite. But right now, you know, Mickey, we're going to see a great ball game with a lot of great athletes tonight. The expectations are just enormous, and we're all ready and excited to go.
And we're going to bring you that in a moment, but right now we got the venerable Ken Benitez, and I'm not sure what Ken's going to add to this thing, but I know he's an Independence native, and he's born and bred. He's an unabated Independence fan, and he'll be the first one to tell you. So we're going to say he's showed up. This is the first time we've seen him at a game in about 4 weeks. Where you been, Ken?
Well, actually, what I usually do at these football games, since the broadcast team is doing so well and is so self-contained now with all these folks we've added, Benny Latino and, of course, Todd Rossnagel, I get a lot of material at these ball games for my radio show Monday morning, and I'm sure that by now all of you viewers listen to me every weekday morning on KSLU. We can put in those plugs, can't we? Also, you can hear it. Yeah, let's get the KSLU mic flag here, this versatile mic flag. What's going to happen tonight, Independence needs to jump ahead early. If it's a close game down to the wire, I'm afraid Amite will win because of the tremendous depth that the Warriors have. You know, all the kids in Independence play both sides of the ball. Here in Amite, they do this platooning system that gives the offense and the defense a rest. And by the fourth quarter, these Warriors will still be quite fresh. So as an Independence fan, and I love Amite, but I mean, I live in Independence, I can't help but hope that the Tigers jump ahead early. If they don't, the game may be over in the fourth quarter. What do you think?
I really, some people have predicted a blowout, some haven't. I think this, the defenses are going to dominate more than what people give them credit for. They're both two very good, hard-hitting defensive teams. The big play is going to count. If Deemer can pull it off, if Joe Harris can pull it off, whoever pulls it off at the end is going to be the winner. One quick note, last 2 years it's been shutout. Independence hasn't scored in 8 quarters. So the first score for Independence tonight will be the first one against an Amite team since 1989. Since 1989, that's correct. So we're going to wrap it up. We're going to bring you kickoff in a moment and sit back and relax, folks.
You're looking at the Independence crowd, and they're getting ready for the game. I'd like to mention some of our sponsors. Amite's Hometown Farm and Garden Center and Ace Hardware is happy to be a sponsor for this football game show. They're located at 301 Northwest Central Avenue in Amite, Hometown Farm and Garden Center.
Other sponsors for tonight's ball game include the Amite Chiropractic Center with our friend Dr. Ned Martello. That's the Amite Chiropractic Center. They're located at 101 South Bay Street in Amite. Dr. Martello is the only full-time chiropractor in Amite now. This means that you can get an appointment at your convenience. Once again, the only full-time chiropractor in Amite, Dr. Ned Martello at the Amite Chiropractic Clinic.
Buster's Furniture Company, your friendly home-known store, located 1 block west of I-55 on Highway 16, west of Amite, where you can find major name brand furniture and professional advice on designing, color correlation, and decorating. Financing is available. We're easy to find and easy to work with. Drop in and see Davis and Chuck soon or call 748-9048. That's Buster's Furniture Company in Amite.
Another sponsor of tonight's big ball game, Husser's City Glass in Amite and Husser's Radiator and Muffler Shop, also in Amite. Now, formerly, they were known as City Glass Works. They're located across from the Catholic Church in Independence. Go see our friend Jimmy Husser.
Dummy, when she asked, or got Pat to ask.
In Amite, Highway 51.
Gazzardo's Cleaners in Amite and Speedy Cleaners in Greensburg, Kentwood, and Roseland provide many services for their patrons, giving fast, efficient service on dry cleaning, laundry, alterations, tuxedo rentals, heirlooming, wedding gowns, shoe repair. To us to expert cleaning and pleating. That's Gazzardo's Cleaning in Amite and Speedy Clean in Kentwood, Roseland, and Greensburg.
Another sponsor, Huck Milling in Independence. They're on Railroad Avenue. Huck Milling, where they have all the supplies you'll need to start feeding those wild birds this winter. Huck Milling, a lot of folks don't know that there is a mill in Independence. It's Huck Milling on Railroad Avenue. Friendly folks, all kinds of livestock supplies too.
And who makes our shirts here at Tangipahoa Television? Custom Tees and Sweat. They feature custom silk screening, lettering, and airbrushing, embroidering, and monographing. They have their own in-store graphic artists, and they're the suppliers of the Holy Ghost Spirit shirts and sweatshirts. They offer team discounts. They're located across from the Hammond Chamber of Commerce in downtown Hammond. Their phone number, 345-4196. That's Custom Tees and Sweat of Hammond.
I see my buddy Pete Armada decided to sponsor the game tonight. Thanks both to Pete Sr. and Pete Jr. Pete's Pharmacy on Highway 51 in Independence is a value-right pharmacy. They have all that buying power for low prices. Plus, all your prescriptions are on computer. That's Pete's Pharmacy in Independence.
Another sponsor is the Leslie's of Amite, Independence, Kentwood, and Hammond. They're happy to sponsor this part of our football show for quality merchandise at competitive prices. Drop in at a Leslie's store. We have all kinds of appliances, TVs, stereos. Check us out for Whirlpool, GE, RCA, and Sony products. That's the Leslie's in Amite, Independence, Kentwood, and Hammond.
Also, State Representative Buster Gazzardo sponsors tonight's ball game. That's Representative Buster Gazzardo. Buster congratulates both teams on their outstanding season. Representative Buster Gazzardo.
Also, People's Bank of Amite, serving North Tangipahoa Parish for 8 years. They're pleased to be a sponsor of this football show. People's Bank is now offering 8% on new car loans. That's right, 8% on new car loans. Come in and see them on Highway 16, West Oak Street in Amite, or call them at 748-9476. That's People's Bank of Amite and Kentwood.
Well, I see the Drive-In Drugstore in Amite is another sponsor for tonight's ball game. Drive-In Drugs with old-fashioned service and friendliness, a real fixture here in Amite. Yet they've got all the modern conveniences in a pharmacy. That's Drive-In Drugs, where they congratulate the Warriors on an outstanding season. Find out why they're so popular here in Amite.
Jerry Tremona, a candidate for Chief of Police in Amite, has been on the police force for 19 years in his hometown of Amite and is looking forward to continuing his service for the protection of the people of this community as their police chief. Please vote for Jerry Tremona for police chief of Amite in the upcoming election. Remember to vote number 38. That's Jerry Tremona, a candidate for the Chief of Police here in Amite.
welcome to Warrior Stadium. I'm Todd Rossnagel. I'll be doing the play-by-play action for this evening's ball game. The toss of the coin has just been decided. The Amite Warriors have elected to receive the kickoff. We are live on tape at Warrior Stadium over here in Amite, Louisiana. And we're ready for kickoff, and both teams came out with extremely confident marches towards the sidelines, and our very own Mickey Trish is on the sidelines and is at the Amite Football Club on the sidelines.
We're going to give it a heck of an effort tonight to see how we can pick up with a roaming reporter. We've never done this before, folks, so bear with us. We're going to try and bring you as much insight as we can from the sidelines. Right now, we're going to hear our national anthem and also an invocation, and we'll pause for that.
For kickoff, Benny. We are on the Amite side of the football field, and the Amite fans are extremely happy and excited for this football game. The field, as we said, is a little moist, but is not going to be a factor in the football game. Independence will kick it off. Back to receive for Amite is Tyrus Mabry, along with Montre Walker. And Kendall Tate is back there as well for the Warriors.
Joe Brown picking up.
Joe Harris will be the kicking off the football here early on in the contest. And the battle for number one is on, and a squib kick all the way to the left side. Flags on the football field for the kickoff going out of bounds. And Benny, immediately it looked like Independence may have, not necessarily an onside kick, but certainly tried to squib it and maybe get a fumble and get the ball back.
What we saw is that the Independence team was trying to kick it over the hands, which is on the front line there for the Amite Warriors, and pick up a big play early in the ball game. And that's what Independence needs to do tonight, Todd. They need big plays early if they're going to be in this ball game.
First and 10 now for Amite as they set up at the 33-yard line.
Well, Todd, we're going to tell you what a couple of weeks ago we had the pleasure of giving you Independence. And
they approach the line, set out to the wide side for Amite.
For Independence that the Tigers came out in, and that was what they may try here tonight to get away from the spread offense of Donald Courier.
The give is up the middle to Kendall Tate as he gains maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Let's go, Warriors!
Now faced with a 2nd and 7 for the Warriors.
Todd, we see early Amite trying to establish a run. Good run there by Kendall Tate. Independence hitting hard. This is a hard hitting ball game in the first play.
Set out to the wide side is Kirsten Foster along with Tyrus Mabry. One single setback. Deemer keeps the ball, and he'll get hit hard by number 4 on Independence. That's Marlon Johnson, and the Amite fans may have wanted a late hit or probably roughing the player up on that play, but nonetheless, Good tackle there by Johnson on Independence's part. 3rd down and 3 now for Amite.
Good misdirection play there by the Amite Warriors. We're going to see Rod Deemer run the ball a lot. He's one of the main ground gainers for the Amite Warriors, even though he's thrown for over 1,000 yards. He's rushed for 500.
Tyrus Mabry is off to the left side. Single setback. That's Tate. Deemer wants to pass, and it's blocked down by Joe Brown of Independence High School. He got through the line early and simply batted the pass down.
And as we said all week, Joe Brown would be the key for the Independence defense. Big, strong linebacker defensive end for the Independence Tigers. But Independence, Amite's going to kick off. Kicking for Amite is number 4. Keith Burton back deep to receive. Marlon Johnson, the big play man for the Independence Tigers.
The punt is away. It's a good one. And it'll be down at the 20. And let's go down to our correspondent on the football field, Mickey Trish.
Todd, you just saw one of the things that's going to worry the Amite coaches in the special teams play. A game like this can make or break a special team play, can make or break the contest. And when you have a guy like Marlon Johnson and Joe Harris back on punt returns and kickoff returns, it does scare you, especially when you have mostly second teamers and backups playing on special teams. That is a concern for Amite.
Thank you, Mickey, and we'll be swinging it your way all through the game. As anything happens on the field, you're there for us. Independence wants to throw on 1st down. They do, and it's caught. Nearly intercepted, but nonetheless, Joe Harris may have gotten his hands on the football, but the ball travels out of bounds. Good defense on that play by the Amite Warriors. Now facing a 2nd and 10.
Well, Todd, actually, I think that was a pickup of 8 yards. That's the old sideline flea flicker, and it almost worked if Joe Harris hangs on the ball. That could have been 6. Independence is trying to strike early, and that's going to be a key to this ball game.
2nd and 3 now for Independence. The give is to Harris off a right tackle. He'll gain at least 5 or 6, maybe even 7 yards. That'll pick up the 1st down for Independence. Let's swing it back down to our correspondent, Mickey Trish.
A couple of things real quick, Todd. Earlier this morning, the starting nose guard for Amite, Dalton Harrow, was injured in a car wreck. He was the starting nose guard. He won't play. They will enter number 51, Greg Cotrere, and number 66, Damian Foster will alternate in there. That can't help the inside of a line that you worry about a Joe Harris. Plus, thing that Coach Baggs is going to do, he's starting Suarez to give him a little deception, maybe looking at a passer.
Thanks, Mickey. There may have been a fumble on that play, but nonetheless, Joe Harris holds on to the football. Good tackling there by the Amite defensive backs.
We're seeing Joe Harris get hit like we haven't seen him been hit all year. The Amite Warriors defense have really putting licks on Harris in the 2 runs he's had so far. There on the stop for Amite is number 10, Montre Walker, the main linebacker for the Amite Warriors.
Montre Walker, of course, the key to this Amite defense. A defense that has been stingy in the past, and let's see if they can shut down Joe Harris. Joe Harris is the lone setback. 2 wide receivers split out to each side. Flags are thrown. There may have been illegal procedure on Independence's part. Wait.
So far in the ball game, Todd, we see Luke Suarez is in at quarterback for the Independence Tigers. As we know, they platoon between Luke Suarez and Derek Watson, who's more of the running quick quarterback. There's an infraction on Amite. Delay on the clock there, and there's a loss of 5 yards, so it'll be 2nd and about 9 for Independence.
2nd and 9 now for Independence with about 8:38 left to play. And they are at the 37-yard line. This play action, the ball was tipped. Quentin Coleman blocks the pass down, and now Independence is faced with a huge 3rd and 9 play. The biggest play of this drive, Benny. Certainly they're going to want to get a 1st down.
Well, that time it was a roll out to the far side, and Luke Suarez had Big Joe Brown, the tight end, open. They'd sent Marlon Johnson deep to pull the cornerback, but a great play there by number 8, Quentin Coleman.
3rd and 9. Harris is the lone setback. It's a given around the end around. But he'll not get the first down. It was Anthony Hurst on the run for Independence, but the Amite defense holds him. And now back to receive the punt for the Amite Warriors is Arthur McGee, as he'll set up right around the 30-yard line for the Independence punt. 3rd and 9, and Robbie Powell will be doing the kicking for Independence. 3rd and 9, and they decide not to go to Joe Harris. They decide to play the end around, try to catch Amite's defense off guard. Didn't work. Here's a punt. It's a beauty. But McGee is there. The key to this punt is McGee is around the left side. He breaks a couple tackles all the way to about the 39-yard line. Brought down by Trey Pingo. And the key to that punt, Benny, was how fast the ball got to McGee.
Definitely, it was a good kick. It got to him fast, and it didn't give Independence enough time to get down the field. So right now, Amite's got the ball on their 37-yard line. We're going down to Mickey Tripp.
We talk about special teams on that when you saw Anthony Harris kind of line up his pockets for a second, but he failed to follow the block. He cut it back inside, got hit. Everybody in the stands thought it was a great run. The coach was a little upset he didn't bounce to the outside. He might still be running.
Thank you, Mickey. Amite, 2 wide receivers split to the left side. Deemer wants to pass. He does, and it's intercepted by Independence. It's Hurst around the left side. It's a big play there for Independence as Deemer simply misread the play. The Independence crowd is going wild, and Deemer just simply did not read the defensive coverage on that play.
Well, Rod Deemer, unlike Rod Deemer doesn't make very many mistakes. Underthrew that time, and just Anthony Hurst hit him right on the number 1, and Independence has the chance that they need. They need the ball, try to score early in this ball game. They're doing a good job of getting the ball.
1st and 10 now for Independence at the 26-yard line. Backs in an I formation. The give is to the up back. He'll get about 4 or 5, not even that. That's Pingo on the carry. He'll get maybe 2 yards on the carry.
Well, so far we see Coach Baglio and the Independence Tigers trying to take the focus off of Joe Harris early in the ball game, I believe. You know, we see a little end around when you thought Joe Harris would get the ball, and there they're going to pig note on the first play of the drive.
It may just work for Independence. They've got a talented group of running backs on this ball club. Anthony Hurst here's the give to Harris. He'll go around the right side. Fumble on the foot. Did Amite get it, or was he down on the field? The refs are certainly calling that he was down on the field. That is the call. Independence will retain possession of the football. Now faced with a 3rd and 3, though, and I'd like to venture to say that we may see Harris get the football on this play, Benny.
Oh, 3rd and 3. This is definitely time for Joe Harris. Joe Harris, he tried to run to the side, and there, number 4, Keith Burton stayed home, made a nice stop.
That's the 2nd time tonight that Joe Harris has fumbled the football. The give is to Harris. Flags on the play. He's probably not going to get the first down. Holding on the play on the part of Independence. Let's go to our correspondent on the field, Mickey Trish.
I think you're seeing real early the debate between whether to throw or whether to run the ball. You saw Deemer throw that pass right into the arms of Anthony Hurst. He came back. Independence needs to make some time here. The coaches are all encouraging. The Amite coaches are encouraging their players to hold here. This holding call is very key. It may take them out of at least field goal position. So a very big penalty here, but they still get a 3rd down. Key play right here.
3rd and 12 now for Independence. This would be a big play for Amite if their defense can hold them and get the ball back. Referees are calling their own timeout.
One possibility, Coach Baglio, for the first time since last year, using Joe Brown possibly as a long kicking threat for 3. He had a broke foot last year and quit kicking. His first time he's worked on it all week. Back to Derek Watson in the game. He rolls out. He throws across. That's going to be picked up. Oh! In and out of the hands hands of number 4, Keith Burton for the Amite Warriors. Watson rolled out, looked across, and just overthrew the intended receiver, number 86, Joe Brown.
Independence now faced with a 4th and 12. Coach Baglio with a critical decision here early on in the football game. Certainly, I don't think he's going to want to punt the football here deep in Amite territory. 4th and 12 with 5:40 left to play in the first quarter. Back to pass. Protection is covered. Into the end zone and overthrown. That'll be picked off by Amite, but that's all right because that's exactly what Independence may have wanted on that football play. Kirsten Foster intercepted the football. Now actually, that would be about a 4-yard punt. If they had punted the football, Amite will get it on the 20-yard line. So pretty good play there on the part of Independence quarterback to simply throw the interception. Had he not, Amite would be about 5 or 6 yards upfield.
I don't know if it was intended that way, Todd, but it sure turned out good, a good situation for Independence. It seemed that Derek Watson was thrown way away. His pass was way away from the receiver. It was nowhere close to Anthony Hurst. So, but it's like a good punt right now.
5:24 left to play in the first quarter. No score here at Warrior Field. 1st and 10 now for Amite. A good defensive hold as Independence intercepted a Deemer pass early on here in the first quarter. Kirsten Foster is split all the way to the right side. Arthur McGee is off to the right side. Off to the left side. We talked about it early on in the football game. Tyrus Mabry is going to have a big game, and he certainly had a big running gain on that play alone. And Mickey Trish was there. Let's go to him.
What you saw right there was a classic example of them spreading the field. You saw the receivers to the far right that left the left side open, and boy was it open. Reginald Topia doesn't come up with a little shoestring tackle. It's over. He's still running.
Maybe it may have been a busted play on this one. Deemer decides to keep the ball with a gain of maybe 1 or 2. And all of a sudden, Amite starting to explode on offense.
Todd, that was a quarterback counter that Rod Deemer's run so successfully all year, but I think Independence is aware of that play and that they stopped him for about a 1-yard pickup.
Second and 9 now for Amite. Deemer under huddle. He wants to pass. He does off the left side to McGee, but the ball is dropped, incomplete. Arthur McGee makes the pass was intended for McGee, but he simply dropped the football. Now a huge play for Amite. We talk about those 3rd down conversions, and that's where this football game may lie, is those 3rd down conversions.
Definitely, the 3rd down conversion is going to be important for both teams. Both of them so far have been unsuccessful at this time. But we saw right there was just a quick pass to number 1, McGee. I think Coach Carrier saw that the Independence defensive backs were paying about 5 yards off the receiver.
Fumble on the football play. But Amite recovers it. That was Tyrus Mabry pouncing on the football again. And Amite making some costly mistakes here early on in the football game. But nonetheless, they're doing the job on defense. That's the key thing. Let's go to our correspondent, Mickey, down on the field.
I think what you're seeing here is a classic example of the defenses that we thought would dominate the ball game. Score one for Amite, score another one here for Independence. They've stopped them in decent territory, and it looks Independence may wind up getting the ball in pretty good position. Donald Carrier is very upset. He's in here hollering on the sideline about the execution on his plays, and they're not doing a good job of it.
Thanks, Mickey. Let's hear from some of our sponsors.
One of our sponsors for this evening is Buster Furniture Company, your friendly home-owned store located just 1 block west of I-55 on Highway 16, west of Amite. where you can find major brand name and furniture and professional advice on design. Financing is available, they're easy to find and easy to work with. Drop in and see Davis and Chuck soon, or give them a call at 748-9048, Buster's Furniture Company.
Watch out for the trick play on this. The punt. The snap is extremely high. It'll go all the way to the 5-yard line. And that is where Independence will take over in this football game. They'll all the way back to the 11-yard line. And we talked about it, preluding the break. The costly mistakes that Amite is making in this football game. Certainly they didn't want to make these mistakes early on, Benny.
Well, that's unlike the Amite football team making mistakes early. Well-executed football team all season long, but just making a few mistakes. And we're going to go down our correspondent on the field, Mickey Trish.
We got on the field before the game. We were talking about, I was talking to assistant coach for Amite, Sonny Wall, about it. He said, hey, special teams is the biggest concern for him. Both defenses are sound. Both offenses are going to come right at you. That was a big play right there. And in practice, we saw 51, the center. He was centering him quite hard to avoid the rush by Independence, which is known for their punting.
They give this to Harris, but he'll be stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. A big play by big number 90, Cedric Tillman. He leads the Amite defensive line, who got through the line and made a tremendous play on Harris on that one.
Just great pursuit there by number 90, Tillman, for Amite. Amite is just playing real aggressive defense at this time. Independence is going to have to counter with some misdirection right here because they're just over pursuing and game tackling at this time.
Maybe we could see Independence go to the air in this series. About 2:52 left in the first quarter. Still no score. Several turnovers. The pass is complete over onto the left side, all the way to about the 4 or 5 yard line. We can't see from here. It was complete to Ray Collins. All the way down to about the 4 yard line. Second and 14, and Benny, we said they might go to the air, and that's exactly what we said Independence might do, is a short passing attack.
That's exactly what they're going to have to do if they hope to have any success running the ball in this part of the ball game. They're going to have to let Amite respect them with the passing game, so it'll open up the running game for Joe Harris and company. Just a good look-in pass there.
Independence. First and goal, 2:35 and counting left in the first quarter. They give this to Harris. He'll go around the left end. Can he get in? He does. Touchdown Independence. They take the lead in this football game 6-0 on a 5-yard run by Joe Harris around the left end. 2:27 left in the first quarter. Independence has scored, and it's 6-0.
Big key here to see if Independence goes for 2 or if they go for the PAT. Looks like they're going for the PAT. Independence kicking it will be number 71, Danny Leitner, who's a short kicking man on the hold. Ray Collins. It's down. The kick is up, and it looks like he missed it. He missed it over to the left. The score now, Independence 6 with 2:27. Amite nothing. Now a word from our sponsors.
Amite Hometown Farm and Garden Center and Ace Hardware invite you to visit our hardware, paint department, feed and seed department, pet department, and nursery. And their fall garden sale is now in progress. Drop by to see what Hometown has to offer. Home-owned and operated.
When you go into Hometown, tell JA you heard it during the game. Also brought to you by Representative Buster Gazzardo, who congratulates both teams on their outstanding season.
And Independence is about set to kick off. Number 3, Joe Harris. Now we're going to talk to Mickey Trish.
I think you saw on that play, credit a lot goes to Joe Brown, number 86 from Independence, because that's the guy who Harris happened to bounce off at the time when he hit the block and went to the outside. They're trying a little squib kick here. They really respect Montre Walker in the back and Montgomery and company. They don't want to get them the ball on the special teams, not in this case. But I think they maybe should kick it downfield instead, get themselves some good field position. It would really help.
Yeah, I guess they're just relying on their defense to do the job here. They have just decided not to kick the ball deep, and certainly it can't be because they want to get the ball back. They must be afraid of the big return yardage as a result of the Warrior special teams.
that's a possibility. Also, I think Coach Bagley is looking in his bag of tricks and trying to pull out something to keep this tempo going his way. But this backfired on him. Now Amite's got the ball, 1st and 10 at Independence 45. Deemer misdirection to Mabry, and a quick tackle by big number 86, Joe Brown. And there's our man, Joe Brown. We said Joe Brown will be a key factor in the ball game defensively.
Coach Bagg said that he wanted to do some different things in this ball game. Independence does not have a reputation for a lot of razzle-dazzle plays, so you can look for Independence to do some things tonight that they haven't done all season.
Of course, not introducing himself, but everybody knows the voice. Ken Benitez here. The Amite Warriors now with 2nd 11, minute 53 left to play in the first quarter. They're down 6 points. Deemer fumbled the pass. He fumbled the snap, but gets it away, and it was intended for number 2, Corey Montgomery, but it was thrown away, and the pressure was established by Joe Brown. Mickey, what'd you think?
From the field side, it's unbelievable how quick big number 72, Chris Thompson, and of course Joe Brown, how quick they are off the ball. It's unbelievable. They're disrupting the whole lot. The snap from center is being very disruptive by those two guys. They're going to do something to counter. Maybe go on hut 2 instead of hut 1. Maybe throw his cadence off a little bit and try and surprise and get an offsides.
Amite, 3rd and 11, big play. Deemer wants to keep it on the option. He does. He'll be stopped, led by number 88 of Independence, Rex Gazzardo, as he makes the stop. And again, a long 3rd down conversion for Amite, but they can't do it. And my question is, why not go to the air on 3rd and 11?
I think that one factor that keeps Amite from going there, Independence on that play had 6 defensive backs, Todd. They're dropping everybody back to stop the big play. And that's one of the reasons why Amite's not going to the air often and early in this ball game.
Minute 10 left to play in the first. Almost another high snap. The punt is off the right of his foot, but it'll take an Amite roll all the way to about the 15-yard line, and that's where they'll spot it, actually about the 16-yard line. 6-0 with about 58 seconds left to play in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, Amite was punting on their own 46-yard line when there was a high snap. Independence took over at about the 16-yard line in Amite territory. And with 2:27 left to play in the first quarter, Joe Harris took it around the left end from 5 yards out for the touchdown. The PAT was just wide left, and that's where we stand, 6-0. Joe Harris, the lone setback for Independence. The give is to him. He'll go around the left side again, but a good defensive pressure there by Amite, but still, Joe Harris decides he wants to get 4 or 5 yards on the play.
That's just determination running by Joe Harris. And we got a flag on the play, it looks like there. I think it's going to be piling on, tacked on to the tackle. Joe Harris broke about 4 or 5 tackles on that play. Just a great effort and run, and that's what it is. It's a personal foul against Amite. They were piling on after the tackle. That's an extra 15 yards tacked on. That's a big, big play for Independence.
It is a huge play for Independence. Not only does it tack on yardage, but then the question arises, is Amite together out there on the football field?
I think right now you're just seeing a real aggressive Amite defense trying to stop Joe Harris, and that's one of the things they're going to have to be aggressive.
Also, one thing the referees might want to keep this game from getting out of hand. Play action around the right side. That was Derek Watson keeping it around the right side, but he'll be stuffed. Led there by number 90 for Amite. Okay, 3 seconds left to play in this counting down, and the first quarter has come to an end. Independence leads this one 6-0.
Sponsors for tonight's ball game include our friend Pete Armato, actually Pete Sr. and Pete Jr. both tonight, helping to congratulate both teams on their outstanding season. However, Pete's Pharmacy in Independence is a little partial toward the Tigers. At Pete's, they have all the modern conveniences like fully computerized prescription records, plus the friendly service you've come to expect, and they're a value right pharmacy with low prices.
Thank you, Ken. Tired of discount store hassles? Stop by Huck Milling Company in Independence for your farm and garden needs. Huck Milling Company features a complete line of Purina chows serving Tangipahoa Parish since 1954. That's Huck Milling Company. Also, Gazzardo Cleaners and Amite and Speedy Cleaners in Greensburg, Kentwood, and Roseland provide many services for their patrons, giving fast and efficient services. That's Gazzardo's Cleaners and Amite and Speedy Cleaners in Greensburg, Kentwood, Roseland, and...
When you're through with him, pull your phone.
Back to action. Derek Watson with nowhere to run there on that play. And Mickey, what did you see?
Real quick point. After being shut out for the last 2 years, I think Independence has avoided that already tonight. So the 6 points they put up is the first time they've scored on this AME team in 2 years. So that's a lot of feathers in the cap over there. A lot of seniors over there have not been on the upside of the scoreboard at all in this series.
Thank you, Mickey. As you almost got trampled there by several AME players heading off to the sidelines. It's an interesting night here in Amite, Louisiana. The fake is to Harris. They want to throw wide open over the middle is the tight end, but it's complete over the middle to the right end is to Joe Brown. Big Joe Brown with the reception, and he barrels his way out of bounds.
Exactly right. Joe Brown at 6 foot, 260 pounds, a big tight end for high school football. Shown his presence early in the ballgame on defense. We have an infraction on the play. We're waiting for the call. We're going to take a break to hear from some of our sponsors.
Well, really, we want to say hello to someone watching us in Sydney, Australia. That's Frank and Kathy Sue Edwards, and we say hello from Amite Stadium. That's to Frank and Kathy Sue.
It could very well be. I don't know, is it?
And we're back to the action, and that was a big penalty on Independence. It was an ineligible receiver downfield. The play cost them 15 yards, and now it's 3rd down and 13.
Marty Johnson out to the left side. Ray Collins out here to the left side. Marty Johnson out to the right side. A fumble on the play. Joe Harris fumbles the football once again, and Amite takes over. Montre Walker on the recovery. And the Amite Warriors take over on the 3rd fumble of the evening for Joe Harris. He is obviously not having the kind of game that he wanted. That's the 3rd time he's fumbled the football.
Todd, I think emotions are rising here. We're making a few mental mistakes. Independence making one, Amite making one that resulted in a touchdown. But one thing we might know, this is the first time Amite's been behind all year.
Let's see if Amite can tie it up. Deemer wants to keep. He's got plenty of blocking all the way down the middle of the field. Taking it 40 yards for the touchdown, and they capitalize immediately on the Joe Harris fumble. They've tied this football game 6-all with 10:56 left to play and the bad snap on the play. This game will stay tied. It's 6-6. Let's hear from some of our sponsors.
Hustler City Glass and Hustler's Radiator and Muffler Shop in Amite, formerly known as City Glass Works, located across from the Catholic Church in Amite, has served our area for 32 years. Call Jimmy or Wayne at 748-4558 or 748-7494. Hustlers is an authorized Louisiana inspection station for your cars or for commercial vehicles. That's Hustler City Glass and Hustler's Radiator and Muffler Shop, located in Amite. Also, compliments of Big Four Auto Parts General Store in Independence and Smitty's Supply in Roseland.
Rod Deemer and the Amite offense taking control of this game. They tie it up. With 10:56 left to play in the first half, we've got a 6-all football game. As a result, it was Rod Deemer from 40 yards out, taking it straight up the field. Independence had the blitz on that play, and it backfired. Joe Harris is back to receive for Independence. It's a short kick. It won't be recovered by him. Independence will set up shop at about the 35-yard line. And that was Darren Brister on the return there for Independence.
Well, Todd, after the first quarter, at the intermission before the second quarter, Donna Correa told his troops that he thought they were sleepwalking through this first quarter, and they really were. They didn't get off the ball. They weren't taking the fight to them on offense. They're taking it to Joe Harris. They think they've rattled Harris. They don't think Joe Harris wants the ball very much, and that's what they're telling their defense. They're getting them keyed up. Watch this Amite defense. See if they take some extra looks on Joe Harris to keep him a little bit timid.
Exactly right. I think Amite's got Joe Harris a little rattled up right here. I have to agree with Mickey on that one, Todd.
Everybody may be a little rattled here as the first quarter is just coming to an end. Tie ball game. They want to go to the air, and they do. Beautiful catch. Ray Collins with a beautiful football catch. And that was right in front of our cameras.
Todd, just a great leaping catch by number 21, Ray Collins, for Independence. He's down on the play. He was hit pretty good right there. See, Luke Suarez was in for that play. First down. They went for the pass on a little curl in there to Collins. Suarez doing a good job of passing, and that's what he's in there for. With the injury, we're going to take a timeout and hear from our sponsors.
Yes, that's right. Sponsors tonight, like Gerald Giardina, the pharmacist at Amite Drive-In Drugstore. They're on Highway 51, of course, everybody knows, right across from the supermarket there, Sunflower in Amite. Drive-In Drugs, they're a fixture here at Amite. Drive-In Drugs, personal service on Highway 51.
The give is to Harris off the right tackle. He'll gain about 6 or 7 yards on the play. And he hung on to the football. That's the key. He's fumbled 3 times tonight. Alan Richard there on the tackle for the Amite Warriors.
Todd, that's the Joe Harris we're going to have to see if Independence is going to be successful on offense. But what opened that up was the pass play on the previous play. The pass play opened up the run, and that's what Independence is going to have to mix the two up.
Independence certainly going to want to control the clock here, but instead they're going to go to the air. A screen pass off to the right side. Another tremendous catch. Marlon Johnson has the catch off to the left side. He's very lucky that ball wasn't fumbled, as he only held on to the ball with one hand, but nonetheless a good catch there by Marlon Johnson, and we're seeing a tremendous performance out of the Independence set of wide receivers.
That's 2 great catches by the Independence wide receivers. Marlon Johnson, the big play man for the Independence Tigers on defense and offense. Tall and slender, about 6'1", 170 pounds. He's got breakaway speed and great leaping ability. We're going to go down the field and hear from our correspondent, Mickey Trish. No, I'm sorry, we're not right there. Hand off to Harris up the middle. He's knocked down by number 66 for the Amite Warriors. That's Damon Foster, of course, the big man on defense.
Well, Todd, surprisingly, you've seen Independence get their first downs via the air. They've gone to Delwyn Perkins a couple of times, and, boy, it's nice to see him back in the game after taking such a hard lick. But it's surprising that they're doing that. They're going to have to go back to Joe Harris and go back to letting him run free and get the bread and butter going for him, because they're trying a little bit too many extra things. They need to just get Joe Harris and run the ball.
Harris around the right side. He breaks through. I cannot believe what I just saw. The most amazing run I've seen in a long, long time. I thought he was down. Certainly everybody here thought he was down. One of the most amazing football runs. Joe Harris takes it in from about 26 yards and Benny, unbelievable.
Well, what I have to say on that play is Joe knows how to run the football, Todd. Joe Harris right there on an excellent run. Broke a few tackles. We're going to go down to our correspondent on the field as we go. Independence tries the extra point. Mickey Tritt.
Well, Benny, as we said before the game, two men, Rod Deemer for Amite, Joe Harris for Independence. Those are two guys that are going to do it. Back to pass here, and the ball is incomplete for the two-point conversion, but there's a flag on the play. We'll get to that in a moment, but what you're going to see tonight is the big play people making big plays. Whatever defense is on the field last may be the winner.
Mickey, thank you for that. And Mickey, I have to agree with you right now. The big play men are making the big plays in the ball game, and that's what, you know, everybody's making skepticisms on. Other people are going to have to be the step up and be the big man to play tonight. But Joe Harris, Rod Deemer, it's just a day at work for those two guys. Now we hear from our sponsor.
Jerry Trabona, candidate for Chief of Police in Amite, has been on the police force for 19 years in his hometown of Amite and is looking forward to continuing his service for the protection of the people of this community as their police chief. Please vote for Jerry Trabona for police chief of Amite in the upcoming election. Remember to vote number 38. People's Bank of Amite, serving North Tangeville Parish for 8 years, is pleased to be a sponsor of this football show. Remember, they now have 8% on new car loans. Come in and see them on Highway 16 West or also on Oak Street in Amite, or call them at 748-9476. That's People's Bank of Amite and Kentwood.
Harris to kick off for Independence. Let's see if they'll go deep. No, they will not. Once again, keeping the ball, giving Amite tremendous field position. And Benny, I can't really figure out why Coach Baglio is doing this.
Well, Todd, two things come in mind why Coach Baglio is putting in the short kicking game right here on kickoffs. A, Amite can definitely hurt you by running the big play. Back for a touchdown or a big pickup. B, they're trying to get on the onside kick. And we're going down here for Mickey Trish.
What some Amite coaches was saying earlier is that they're letting Joe Harris get a little too much head of steam built up. They need to hit him at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield. Because once he gets about a 3-yard start, he gets those legs dropped, he can go through a pile of defenders just like he did in that touchdown play. They're telling him to hit him in the backfield or at the line and wrap those arms.
Deemer to the air. Complete. It's the fault. There's a flag on the play. We'll have to await that. But this crowd is going berserk after a 55-yard, maybe a 55-yard touchdown pass from Deemer to Foster. It's that connection that's worked all year long. The referees are gathering. Face mask on Independence. The play stands as called. Touchdown Amite, 55 yards from Deemer to Foster. Mickey.
Well, exactly what we said. We see the big play people making big plays in what is the biggest game of the year so far. That was Kirsten Foster. He's the big play man for for Amite. You're going to see Foster, they'll go tit for tat with Corey Montgomery underneath. They'll nickel and dime you. Then they'll go to the silver dollar receiver. And Kirsten Foster, he's in.
The extra point is up and good, and the reason that is so critical, they take a 1-point lead, 13-12 Warriors.
In a very crowded and noisy Amite Stadium, we'd like to remind you that many people have found relief from migraine headaches, necks and shoulder pain, as well as stress, tension through chiropractic care. If you're tired of aching and hurting, maybe chiropractic care can help you, so don't put it off any longer. Give Dr. Nick Martella a call at 748-8877. And remember, Dr. Martella is there when you need him.
Dr. R.E. Goldsby, Mayor of Amite, is another sponsor for tonight's ball game, asking for you to vote for him in the election November 3rd. Dr. Reggie Goldsby, who is here at the game, handing out cards, we might say. Reggie Goldsby for mayor.
Amite has decided to kick it off.
Freshman, the freshman.
The freshman lineman for Independence takes the ball all the way up the field. His name is Darren Brister. He was very close to breaking for a touchdown there for Independence, but nonetheless, they'll set up at the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 with 8:11 left to play. They're only down 1 point. 13-12 Amite, after they collaborated on a 55-yard pass play from Rod Deemer to Kirsten Foster. The point after was good. They lead it 13-12. Harris brought down. The misdirection doesn't work for Independence. Amite's defense gets through and tackles Joe Harris that time for a loss of 1. Now faced with 2nd and 11, 7:46 left to play here in the second.
Todd, it's just a gang tackling there by the Amite Warriors. Independence cannot just run Joe Harris straight up the middle and be successful. They're gonna have misdirection around the end.
The crowd chanting defense. It's hard for me to even hear myself. The flag's on the play. You can't hear it either. And I'm wondering if the Independence offensive line may have been able to hear the snap count. Delay of game, Independence. I don't know if I can sound clearly on the tape here for the broadcast, but I can barely hear myself speak. Mickey.
Todd, I don't know exactly what the view is like from your view, but I tell you what, the momentum is shifting so dramatically on the field. It's unbelievable. You see a good hit, this side of the field. Amite gets a good hit, they go crazy. Independence gets a good hit, they go crazy. The big plays are making a fueling the fire. I don't know how the Braves felt with that the other night. Closest we can get to it. We got the tomahawk chops, deep inside.
Flags on the play. There may have been a late hit. Well, it may have been intentional grounding, and Mickey Trish may have the best seat in the house. He's right there on the football field, because up here in the stands, it is loud, to say the least. Intentional grounding on Independence. 2 calls there that go against Independence. And the Amite fans are happy about that. About 7:15 left to play, and they're faced with a huge 2nd and 16. If they don't make it, they're going to be faced again with another 3rd down conversion that is going to be difficult to convert here at Warrior Stadium. 13-12. Luke Suarez in for Independence at quarterback. 3rd and 21. Joe Harris is the lone setback. Let's see what happens. The give is to him. On the draw. There's the flag. No doubt a late hit will be called against the Amite Warriors, as Joe Harris took it 22 yards on the draw play, a play that Coach Baglio may decide to go to here because the passing game is working, and it sets up that play beautifully.
Definitely, the passing game sets up the draw play. Joe Harris, once again, hard-nosed running and just great determination on the play. Personal foul, late hit, be tacked on, 15 yards. That's another big play by Independence. We're gonna go down and hear from Mickey Trish.
We said a little bit earlier about the Amite coaches saying that they need to hit Harris at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield. They need to do one or the other. They can't let him get that head of steam up because he's going to go right through you and right around you. There's no way that they can let Joe Harris continue to do this. He'll have another 200-yard night, and against the state's #1 team, that's going to be a tough thing to do. But if they don't get him in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage, it could be a very long night.
Harris is the lone setback. The give is not to him. He'll be sacked. Cedric Tillman sacks Suarez there. And Cedric Tillman was not faked on that play. He got through. 6:39 left to play. 13-12, Amite. If you're just joining us, we're here for the battle for number 1. Independence versus Amite, right here on Tangipahoa Television. Independence, 2nd and 12. The screen pass, it works beautifully. He caught the football. That was Anthony Hurst on a beautiful reception. And the screen pass is working for Independence as they gather around the football. Amite thought that they may have fumbled the football, but that's not the case.
3rd and 1.
It'll be close as to whether it'll be 3rd and 1 or whether it is going to be a first down. Very close to the first down yardage marker.
A look-in pass right there to number 21 for Independence, Ray Collins. And that's 2 pretty good receptions by Ray Collins thus far. And Ray Collins is not one of the guys that we expected to be a big play potential in this ball game, and he's arose to the occasion with 2 real good receptions. And he puts Independence at about 3rd and inches. So Independence will be 3rd and inches from the 32-yard line.
Big play here for Independence. We'd like to say hello to Luke Lloyd of the United States Navy in Norfolk, Virginia. He is very concerned about this football game. He contacted us. Hello goes out to Luke as he is watching here on Tangipahoa Television. 3rd and inches, backs in an I formation. They give us to Harris. He hangs on to the football, but he'll be stopped. The Amite defense comes through, and if they get the first down, it's because of a very generous referee.
We got it.
Unbelievable. It looks like he may have gotten the first down.
90 Tillman on.
I don't know where these referees are from. I don't even know if they know about the rivalry. But they better look out at the end of this football game if they have to make a close play, because these fans won't hang for bad refereeing. That's for sure, especially in a game of this magnitude. It'll be 4th down and almost less than an inch here for Independence. Benny, what are we going to look for here on 4th and inches?
Well, it's pretty obvious. I think they're going to go to Joe Harris up the middle. Or possibly, let's see who's in at fullback. It may be Pigno. Yeah, no, he's a long setback.
How about this? I think they might go to the air on a screen pass. It's worked for him well this series, and Coach Baglio said he might try something different. Off to the left side is Ray Collins. Quarterback sneak, and he got the first down. And it worked to perfection. Just simply got the ball, and right behind his center, he gets the first down. But the best thing about that is the fact that they get the first down, but time clicked off that clock.
Right now we're having Independence, as we've all stated all week long, Independence needs long time consuming drives, and that's what they got going on thus far on this drive right here. And they're eating away at the seconds on the clock with 5:12 left to play.
The main reason I say they need time consuming drives is because Amite on their first play from scrimmage on the last 2 series have scored. Joe Harris, that's Tofield, excuse me, off to the left side. He may have had a chance to break through, but he didn't. There on the tackle for Amite is Alan Richard. 13-12, 4:51 left to play in the first half. In what has been a dramatic first half of play here at Warrior Stadium, Amite up 1 point. The crowd is at a lull here. And flags on the play on this 2nd and 7. May have been illegal procedure against Amite on that play. We'll await the referee's call. It's either offsides or illegal procedure on Amite, and it is going to be offsides on Amite. So now they're faced with a 2nd and 3, or 2nd and 2. Well, they're going to take 2nd and 2.
Right there we saw as the play was developing, it was just going to be a bootleg to the left side. with Suarez. And you see Coach Bagley was trying to do a bunch of different things early in this ball game. Suarez, one of the unlikely candidates to run the football this time. Suarez will be has orchestrated a great drive thus far.
4:17 left to play. 2nd and 2 for Independence. Big play of the series here for Independence as they are at about the 20-yard line. Near the 20-yard line, actually about the 22. He wants to pass. The screen pass is deflected by number 55 of Amite. And you have to wonder if they had just expected that screen pass to work, if they expected the screen pass to happen, and obviously they did as they blocked the pass.
Just a great job by Terrell Smith to knock down the little look-in pass. Independence has been successful in that all night. Suarez, just a one-step drop right there. 3rd and 2, and we're probably going to see Harris finally get the ball.
Now, regardless of the outcome of this drive, Independence is doing exactly what they wanted to do, and that was to hold on to the ball, sustain long drives, and keep the ball out of the Amite offense's back. And as they're doing right here, getting some penetration on defense and taking Joe Harris down before he gets ahead of steam up. So regardless of the outcome, Independence is doing what they want to do on this drive, trying to establish it, take some time off the clock.
That's exactly right, Mickey. They're taking time off the clock with this drive, and it's a very interesting one here with 3:46 left to play in the first half. And it's a 1st and 10 now at the 19-yard line, and that clock is just ticking away. The Amite offense, if you see him on the sidelines, desperately wants to get back into this football game. Harris. Up the middle, what a run.
About 8 yards.
About 8-yard run. Nothing fancy, but he gets the job done.
There we saw just a dive up the middle, and Joe Harris carrying a few tacklers once again. It seems if Joe gets a little opening, he's able to make things happen on his own, carrying tacklers and breaking tackles. But if Joe hits the line of scrimmage and there's no hole at all, then Amite just pursues and gang tackles.
3:02 left to play. The amount of people that are at this football stadium is unbelievable. They're at least 8 or 9 deep all the way around the fences. There's a timeout on the field. Let's hear from those important sponsors.
One of our sponsors is the lessees of Amite, Independence, Kentwood, and Hammond. They're happy to sponsor this part of our football show. For quality merchandise at competitive prices. That's the lessees, the only one in town having 4 locations. That's in Independence, Kentwood, and Hammond.
Other sponsors for tonight's ball game include our friends at Smitty Supply in Roseland and Big 4 Auto Parts on Highway 51 in Independence. Actually, Smitty's, you could say it's in Roseland, you could say it's in Arcola. It depends on your geography, but what you can do, Linda, you can get your wholesale parts. Even if you're not a wholesale person, if you're just a regular guy, you can get prices at a wholesale level at Smitty's Big Warehouse up on Highway 51 in Arcola. The mayor of Roseland is sitting next to me. Louis, is Smitty's in Roseland or Arcola?
Well, it's in Arcola, but we like to think it's in Roseland.
All right. Well, anyway, that's Smitty's Warehouse in Arcola, Roseland area, and also Big 4 in Independence, right at the corner of Highway 40 and Highway 51, another sponsor for tonight's ball game.
Second and 3 now for Independence. 2:58 left to play. The give is to Harris off the right side. Unbelievable, and you saw it on television. You saw the way he can get hit and rotate off of the tacklers for yet another gain here for Independence as they'll pick up the first down. 2:51 left to play. They're only down by a point. They're in field goal range. Let's go to Mickey.
One thing that they're real concerned about here on the Amite sideline is their defensive line is not getting under the point of attack. They're getting overpowered by the Independence offensive line. They're not getting underneath the block and allowing the linebackers to get, and they're not getting any penetration allowing their linebackers to get in.
Suarez has been dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd and goal now for Independence.
Todd, just a bad connection there between the center and quarterback Suarez. Well, in the last play, we saw Joe Harris. Great balance as a running back. That's what you look for in big-time running backs. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, great balance, carrying tacklers, twisting and turning, getting the extra yard. He's really showing us something tonight against the best defense he's going to probably play against this year.
3 setbacks. Almost a fumble on the snap. Suarez, what is he doing? is sacked.
Bobbling the ball twice.
He bobbled the ball, but well, Suarez just kind of in a no man's land there as he was sacked. Minute 42 left.
Right there we saw Luke Suarez 2 consecutive plays in a row bobble the football, and that may prove to be costly for Independence. If they need to put points on the board, as we've got a minute and a half left in the first half. They can't afford really to go on a long, great abstained drive there and not put any points on the board.
Minute 19 left to play. This is the most critical drive for Independence. Harris off to the left side. He may get the football on the screen. He does. He'll go into the end zone. Touchdown. Joe Harris comes out of the backfield, off to the left side. The pass is complete to him from 10 yards out, and Independence has taken the lead. Unbelievable that the Amite defense didn't see that. It is now 18-13 with 1:07 left to play. But Benny, you've got to remind yourself that Amite on their first 2 possessions of each of their last offensive drives they've scored. So a minute is plenty of time for Amite.
Joe Harris will be, no, they're going for 2 right here. Independence 3 backs in the backfield, and Big Joe Brown in front of Joe Harris to block. He's wide open. He in and out of the hands of number, can't pick his number up there. Looks like number 33 for Independence, Reginald Toefield. And what we see here, they split 3 receivers out to the right side. They shifted the defensive backs to that side and left Joe Harris alone by himself to get the receptions. We're going to go down to Mickey Trish, who had a perfect view.
Benny, I think what you just saw was the textbook Independence drive. They took the ball for a long time, held it over 5.5 minutes. They got points off the board, and they kept our Amite offense off the field. 1:07 left. That's a lot of time for this offense to get back on the board. But right now, hey, you got to say this much. A whole lot of Joe Harris. They're really mystified that Harris is running. He's picking great holes, and he's keeping his feet moving. They really can't. They're having a very hard time stopping him.
Thank you, Mickey. You're exactly right. Joe Harris, big part of this ball game early on. Another misconversions by Independence. And to kick the ball off is Joe Harrison. Will they go long this time? Looks like they're going to go deep. Harris to kick off. It's a line drive kick in and out of the hands of one Amite returner. Now picked up by number 12, Tyrus Mabry. He's got room to this side. Oh, nice tackle there by number 4, Marlon Johnson. Marlon Johnson, one of the primetime athletes on Independence's football team, who might have a face mask on that play. Todd.
Well, maybe Coach Baglio will decide to kick the ball off deep again. I mean, it's worked on this play. Tyrus Mabry did not escape and go for the touchdown like they thought he might have. Maybe we'll see that happen more often here.
10 yards.
10 yards marked off because of the face mask. Amite will take over. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. 58 seconds left to play here in the first half. Independence up 18-13.
Foster right here, Todd. They're going to try and go left to the left side deep on him. They're spreading them out. Foster ball. Montgomery underneath. Kendall may also see some action on this play.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Mickey. And we're going to wait and see just exactly. There may be an injury on the football field. Actually, it looks like number 24 for Independence may have.
Joe Harris, something's wrong.
Joe Harris is coming off the football field.
Equipment problem.
And there must be some sort of equipment problem with Joe Harris on his left or his right shoulder pad or something. Let's take a quick break.
While we take a break, we'd like to hear from our sponsors. Amite Drive-In Drugstore invites you to drop in for prompt, courteous, and friendly personalized service. Drop in the drugstore on Highway 51 South. It's just north of Sunflower Store in Amite. What a great way to pick up your prescriptions. When you're too busy and don't want to leave the kids in the car, run by Amite's Drive-In Drugstore. Hustler City Glass and Hustler's Radiator and Muffler Shop in Amite, formerly known as City Glass Works, located across from the Catholic Church in Amite, servicing our area for 32 years. Call Jimmy or Wayne, 748-4558, 748-7494. Hustler City Glass and Hustler's Radiator and Muffler Shop in Amite. Back to the game.
Amite down by 5 points, 18-13. 58 seconds left on the clock. Time of the real day, it's 8:26 in the evening on a Friday. That doesn't mean anything to you, but nonetheless, I wanted to say it, and I did. Amite going deep. It's complete. It's complete all the way down the field to Toefield, all the way to the 32-yard line. Excuse me, it was intercepted. I was just been doused by Coca-Cola here. It's unbelievable.
It's not a ball game, it's a happening here in Amite, Louisiana. The crowd is just going berserk, and they're really fired up. A close play there, right there. Number 3, Rod Deemer, went deep down the sidelines to Tyrus Mabee, the big back out of the backfield, and number 33, Reginald Rofield, took it away from him in the air, possibly. We couldn't quite see what exactly happened, but it was a great interception by number 33, Reginald Rofield.
Unfortunately, I did not see most of the play because the Amite fans have just doused me with Coca-Cola, not on purpose, though. 43 seconds left to play. Don't worry about the Coca-Cola. It's no big deal. 38 seconds left to play in the first half, and the big play for Amite has failed here late in the first half.
Todd, we saw 6 defensive backs in the ball game, and that was the reasons why Independence was able to cover the receivers of Amite. We got a timeout on the field. Looks like Independence, no, Coach Career from Amite has called a timeout, and gonna huddle his team about midway from us right here. Looks like he's gonna give them a little pep talk and talk to them. Todd, great ball game thus far. Everything we expected in an Independence Amite ball game.
It certainly is, Benny. And I'll tell you, with a 5-point ball game, it's just unbelievable. This is exactly what we wanted, and it's probably exactly what everybody here wanted, except for some of these Amite fans. They'd rather see Amite, of course, on top. But Coach Career looks to be a little discouraged that his team hasn't produced defensively like they should have. But nonetheless, Amite's still in the football game, only down 5 points. They'll go into halftime with their heads high, at least 5 or 6 or 7 deep around the fences here. Well, Independence, they're just going to sit on the football here. And again, you know, you know how I feel about that. 24 seconds left to play. I say try to air it out, try to get something, or at least run an offensive play, not sit on it.
Well, I think Coach Baglio's thinking at this time, Todd, is they don't want any mistakes, any fumbles, interception. They're in their own territory, and if Amite gets the ball, big play capabilities once again. Amite can score with 1 pass or 1 run by Rod Deemer. So Coach Baglio being a little more conservative than we prefer, but actually doing a pretty good job of coaching at this time, not wanting to make any mistakes and give the ball to Amite with just a few seconds left, and they can score with just a few seconds left.
This will probably be the last play of the first half. 24 seconds left to play. And he kneels the football. Clock continues to tick, and they'll walk off the field here at halftime. Warrior Field, a battle for number 1. It stands Independence 18, Amite 13 at the end of 1 half of play. We'll be back with the second half. It's going to be a good one. Stick around.
And of course, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Alessi's Appliance, Amite Chiropractic Clinic, Big 4 Auto Parts and Spitty Supply, Buster's Furniture Store of Amite, Custom Tees and Sweats of Hammond, Drive-In Drugstore in Amite, Representative Buster Gazzardo, Mayor Reggie Goldsby, Gazzardo Cleaners, Hometown Farm and Garden Center, and Ace Hardware of Amite, Huck Milling Company of Independence, Hustler City Glass and Hustler Radiators, People's Bank of Amite, Pete's Value Right Pharmacy of Independence, Robert's Hair Design in Hammond, and Jerry Trombone. And now taking the field is the Independence Marching Band. The pride of the Indy Band is under the field direction of the Senior Code Drum Majorettes, Margaret Giamala and Christine Wallace. Tonight's halftime maneuvers were choreographed by Christine Wallace. The band and Twirling Tiger Flan Corps will begin tonight's performance with Go For It. There will be a drum solo featuring the Independence Drumline. The routine was arranged by Brian Costa. And now you're looking at Margaret and Christine Wallace. Drum solo features the Independence Drumline. The routine was arranged by Brian Costa. Let's listen to the Independence Drumline. Jailhouse Rock. This arrangement also features Amy Smith on tenor sax. Now let's watch the Independence Flag Team dancing to Jailhouse Rock. hello to Steve Benitez. He's a member of the Independence Band. That was Miss Amy Smith on tenor sax. Independence flag team. Great job, girls.
What do I do tomorrow?
And now Eddie Robinson, Heath Morgan, and Jason Kirkpatrick will play a short version of Achy Breaky Heart while the Flags and Tigerettes move into position for their final selection of Get Ready. That was Eddie Robertson, Heath Morgan, and Jason Kirkpatrick.
We got invited to the Twitch Board tailgate party.
Now let's listen to Get Ready.
At least be a chance to eat and drink.
And the Tigerettes look lovely as usual. As I talked to them this week as they were getting ready for this game, they were practicing many long, hard hours. And their hard work's paying off tonight. The Independence Band captain is Jamin Atkins. Flag captain is Lisa Davis. Band lieutenants are Heath Morgan and Missy McLeod. Cordell Lathers and flag lieutenants are Miss Young and Dawn Milton. The Independence Tigerettes. And as the Independence Band, Tigerettes, and Flag Corps leave the field, we'd like to remind you that they're under the direction of Band Director Daniel King. Flag sponsor, Joanne Whitmer, and Tigerette sponsor is Lisa Genko. We'd like to remind you who our sponsors are that are bringing you this beautiful halftime performance. Alessi's Appliances, Amite Chiropractic Clinic, Big Four Auto Parts and Smitty Supply, Buster's Furniture Store of Amite, Custom Tees and Sweats in Hammond, Drive-In Drug Store of Amite, Representative Buster Gazzardo, Mayor Reggie Goldsby, Gazzardo Cleaners, Hometown Farm and Garden Center, and Ace Hardware of Amite, Huck Milling Company of Independence, Hustler City Glass and Hustler Radiators, People's Bank, Pete's Value, Wright Pharmacy of Independence, Robert's Hair Design, located in Hammond, and Jerry Trombona, the candidate for police chief here in Amite.
This ground is so wet.
Now the drum major for the Amite Combined Band, that's Combined Amite High with Westside Middle School bands. Miss Kay King is the drum major. The band director here at Amite is Nick Salvarino. And their entrance selection is Walkin' and Talkin'.
Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Proud to present the Warrior Marching Band, Flag Star, and Live The band is under the field director of drum major
Ken, something really interesting. The band director of Independence' daughter is the drum major here at Amite.
Well, you know, it's funny because we're sitting amongst these Warrior fans, and of course I live in Independence, but normally there's so much friendship and interplay between the two communities. It's strange to see this acrimony on the football field here at Warrior Stadium because normally there's just so much friendly interplay between the two neighboring towns. It's not like Hammond and Ponchatoula, for example, that are rivals all the time.
They are rivals all the time between Hammond and Ponchatoula. You are right. We understand there's been a lot of friendly competitiveness in the King family household for the past couple of weeks. High school players, and other 19 are members of the junior high players. 15 of these members have only been in for 1 year or less.
The Wahoops dance team they have here in Amite is really outstanding. Of course, the Tigerettes too, but they have such participation here at Amite High School. Look at the size of the band, the size of the dance team, and for that matter, the number of kids who go out for football. They just have wonderful participation here.
Lots of extracurricular activities here. The Wahoops are dancing to Champion's Choice. About the band, for the past 2 years, the Westside Middle School Band has had the honor of having the most band members out of all the Tishville Parish middle school bands to be selected by audition to perform in the District 9 Junior High Honor Band. We say congratulations to all those band members that were selected. This evening, Amite High School Flag Chorus, we highlighted in Just Do It. We'd like to remind you that the Amite High School Band boosters are presently sponsoring a raffle for cash prizes. First prize $100, second prize $50, third prize $25. The drawing will take place on November the 6th at Harrison Central Game at the halftime. The tickets are just $1, so you'll want to make sure to buy plenty of them to help support Amite High School Band. the Wahoos. Leanne Hudson, First Lieutenant. Hunter Halsey, Second Lieutenant. Dolphin Richardson, Third Lieutenant.
Linda Halsey. And the flag sponsor is Miss Barbara Hayes. We'll now be going to Benny Latino with a very special interview.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with the Commissioner of High School Athletics, Tommy Hendry. And Mr. Hendry, we appreciate you being here in Amite, Louisiana tonight. And if your speculation, this is one of the biggest games possibly of the year in high school football.
Well, at first it's my pleasure to be here and to see a crowd like this that representing two great communities, both a rich high school football tradition. And certainly it's a pleasure to be part of this and to watch this. This is great for the kids. We have two great football programs, two outstanding high school head coaches and coaching staffs, communities that really support their schools and their athletic teams. They're all playing and trying to find who's the best in football tonight. We'll have a winner when the game's over. I'm not sure that's going to decide who's the best team when everything's said and done, at least who's best tonight. But this is great for high school football.
Mr. Hendry, you said you've seen Neville and Ruston, which is a big rivalry, and those schools have 2,000, possibly 2,000 students. In both these two small schools, small communities, how does this crowd compare to some of the bigger crowds you've seen in your tenure as a high school athletic director?
Well, at Ruston and Neville, they have bigger stadiums, and they're full. These stadiums are full, and they're overcrowded. So, comparable basis, this game is just as big as the Neville and Ruston rivalry as far as the crowd, the capacity, and everything like that. And I've seen several of them. I've seen Washington, Marion, some of their games, and this will match with any of those on this same level. So, like I said, it's just a great crowd for high school football. A great cool night. The rain stopped. The teams are playing hard. They're playing well.
I have to agree with you on that, Mr. Hendry. And we spoke earlier and said very seldom do you see two schools 6 miles apart, ranked 1 and 2 in the state, and playing this big a game with such magnitude.
I know Ruston and Neville have met within the last game of the season. They're 30 miles apart. Maybe one had a loss or something. This doesn't happen often.
No, he's gone. If anybody goes, it will be me.
Mr. Hendry, I'd like to thank you for joining us here on Tangipahoa Television. And we're glad to have you in Tangipahoa Parish. You know, I know you've got many places to go and many high schools to see, and we appreciate you being here at this ball game. And I think you noticed that it is a big game in the state of Louisiana.
Thanks, Benny. Pleasure. Of course, couldn't have a bigger match.
Some of our sponsors for this evening's game: Huck Milling Company in Independence. Super R Block Cattle Supplement from Purina's is a molasses-based block for cattle to supplement fall and winter pasture. Available at Huck Milling Company in Independence and backed by Purina's quality guarantee. And also remember that winter is almost here, and now is the time to start feeding wild birds. For a complete selection of Purina bird seed, stop by Huck Milling Company in Independence. Alessi's of Amite, Independence, Kentwood, and Hammond is happy to sponsor this part of our football show. For quality merchandise at competitive prices, drop in at Alessi's store. That's in Independence, Kentwood, and Hammond. People's Bank of Amite, serving North Tangipahoa Parish for 8 years, is pleased to be a sponsor of this football show. People's Bank is now offering 8% on new car loans. Come in and see us on Highway 16, West Oak Street in Amite, or call them at 748-9476. That's People's Bank of Amite and Kentwood.
Thank you, Linda, and again, thank you to all of our sponsors on this broadcast. Todd Rossnagel joining you again here in the second half. Benny Latino has made his way down onto the football field. He'll be covering the sideline in the best seat in the house, and Mickey Trish now joins me up here in the so-called broadcasting booth. Mickey, I have an umbrella here. We might want to take it out because I've been pummeled by Coke, popcorn, anything else that can be thrown my way. It's landed on me. I'm a little tall, but nonetheless, I've been hit. Tell us a little bit about the scoring, a little recap, and I'll be back with the stats.
Well, Todd, it's been all independents on the scoreboard as well as in the stats, as we will see. We're getting ready to look at the kickoff. We're going to try and run through this as quickly as possible. In the first quarter, with 2:27 mark, Harris goes in. Joe Harris had his 3-yard touchdown run, no point after. The scoring drive after the turnover was 3 plays for 17 yards, 1:03. That put him up 6-0. Amite answered with 10:56 left, and Amite's going to kick the ball off. It's a little pooch kick. It's going down to the 30-yard line, and it's fielded there. Number 32. And he falls forward for a couple.
Let's go, Warriors!
Todd, I was in the locker room with Coach Charlie Baglio at halftime, and Baglio said, we're going to do the things we've been doing all ball game. They haven't really seen our offense thus far. Baglio also said, we're going to stay loose. He even told a few jokes to keep them loose for the ball game. Big ball game. We'll hear what Coach Career has to say in a minute. But right now, he says his offense is rolling, and their team's doing a good job. Keep up the good work, and we got to stop the big play.
Thank you, Benny. And there was a fumble on the exchange, as we saw here. But nonetheless, Independence recovers the football. And we begin the second half here. 2nd and 11 now for Independence. Harris is the lone setback. They give this to him around the right side. He'll be stuffed again by that tremendous defensive line. And Mickey, as you well saw down there on the field, Joe Harris is doing it by himself. He's not getting the help that he usually gets on the offensive line, but then again, Amite's defensive pressure has been outstanding altogether tonight.
Well, you know, first of all, Joe Harris doesn't need a whole lot of help. Basically, the Amite defenders aren't getting low on their blocks, and they're getting overpowered by the Independence offensive linemen. That's been the key so far. And then Joe Harris is just doing a fantastic job in picking his holes.
Our equipment has been drained, and we have just been handed a new scorecard. Thank you very much to the generous people over here on the Amite side of the field. Number 22, Alan Ricard, comes off the football field. May have been poked in the eyeball, it appears. 3rd down and 6 now for Independence, and a pretty big play here as they're going to want to try to take some time off the clock. It's been a while since Amite touched the football. Complete, but he's stuffed. Stuffed by Kirsten Foster, and that won't be enough for the first down, and Independence will have to punt with about 10:46 left to play. Let's quickly run through some of these stats for you as we get prepared for the punt here. Joe Harris had 17 carries for 114 yards, including 2 touchdowns. He also had a 7-yard catch for a touchdown. Independence, as far as the rushing is concerned, they had 28 carries, 102 yards on the ground. They had 9 first downs. Their quarterback Suarez was 6 for 9 for 61 yards, a total of 163 yards of total offense. We'll get to Amite right after this play. The punt is up and away, and again, it's a nice one. But again, it gets to McGee quickly. He gets them through the left side. He gets around the outside. Arthur McGee on a tremendous play takes a punt return off to the left side, and maybe that's why Coach Baglio didn't want to kick to him, but nonetheless, he gets it off. And there's going to be a penalty on Amite, and they'll tack it back at least 5 or 10 yards. We'll wait on the call. Let's do Amite stats real quickly, get this out of the way. Nothing much to report on this side. Deemer, 4 for 54 yards. He's their leading rusher. As far as passing, he was 1 for 6, 2 interceptions, 52 yards, and a touchdown. As a team on the ground, they are 8 carries for 79 yards, a total of 131 yards of total offense. Mickey, they're doing the job on special teams.
I'll tell you what, the Independence defense, give them all the credit in the world, because if you take away those 2 touchdown plays, one the 40-yard run by Deemer, the other the 52-yard touchdown pass, they'll take away those 92 yards in total offense from the 131 that they've accumulated. And Amite only has 39 yards in the first half. Take away those 2 big plays. So the Independence defense doing the job here, and they're doing it again. Big Joe Brown, number 86. He is so quick off the ball. It's really giving the Amite offensive line fits.
Yeah, Joe Brown has done a tremendous job of getting off the football quickly and getting through and busting through on that offensive line. Benny Latino on the sidelines is... Take it away.
And Todd, also in the locker room, Coach Baglio said, Joe Brown, this is your game on defense, and he's dominated the game pretty much on defense on the line of scrimmage. In the other clubhouse, Coach Career said, we're going to do the things that got us here. We're going to get the big play, and we're going to score. Right now, Independence, it looks like Independence is stopping them, but Coach Career also promised the team that they could all shave their head if they won this ball game.
Note well taken, Benny. 9:02 left to play, and again, Independence defense getting through the line.
Well, I think Coach Correa would want to shave it. He's about to pull his hair out, much less try and shave his head if they win. That may be a you know, one of those false promises. You know, come shave my head, but I'm going to pull all my hair out if we don't win this game.
3rd and 9, big play. Deemer wants to pass. He does, and it's underthrown to Foster. Again, pressure put on him by that tremendous Independence defense. We talked about it early on in the football game. We talked about it, Mickey. They're going to need to get quarterback pressure in this football game. Not only have they been doing that, but they've just really rattled Deemer. Except for those 2 big passes, he's underthrown his receivers there.
Well, I think early on in the contest, I thought that Joe Harris seemed to be rattled while walking the sidelines. Amite was doing some taunting, not taunting, but they were getting on him pretty good. We're going to see the punt, and he bobbles it, and he gets the kick off, and it's partially blocked, and this guy can pick it up and run it in. He could have picked it up and run it in, but they're going to call a roughing the kicker call.
Mickey, they threw that flag at least 20 seconds late. I don't know what that referee was thinking, but he certainly threw it late.
I think what happened, Todd, it looked like he didn't get any of the ball. I think he got the kick around the block, and then he got hit. It took the referee a couple of times before that registered, but I don't think that he got the ball. And on that in that case, he needs to touch the ball, at least touch the ball, and then it's free ball, and then it's free kicker. So I think that's a key. If that's a good call, I really think it is.
Well, now they're picking up the flag, saying that it's an inadvertent flag thrown. The referees, told you about it earlier in the contest, they certainly don't want to make these fans upset. Independence with a chance to really take control of this football game, leading 18-13 with 8:26 left to play. Their first series, they're at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal. Flags on the play. Independence is cheering. Offsides on Amite is expected to be the call, and it is. Closer to the goal line they look. Now, again, Mickey, they've got 3 running backs in the football game. The last time we saw that, you saw Harris split out to the left side and catch a touchdown pass. You think they might do it here?
I think they're going to come with the wham. They're going to lead those 2 blockers, and they're going to give it to Harris, and he's going to score his 4th touchdown of the night. That's what I think is going to happen here. And then if that happens, they're going to test the character of this Amite team. See how big a number 1 are they.
There it is, Harris around the right side. And no, he is denied a touchdown by good defensive pressure. I don't think the Amite fans realize how crucial that is, because he certainly, as soon as he took off to the right side, looked like he had touchdown written all over it. Keith Burton on the stop, along with Quentin Coleman. Now 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line, just inside the 1-yard line here for Independence. The Tigers come to the line. 7:50 left to play. Fumble on the play, but Independence recovers the football. Bad exchange there by the quarterback in the center, and that's happened quite a few times for Independence, Mickey.
Yeah, but the one thing about the Independence miscues, they're not coming back to haunt them and hurt them as bad as the Amite miscues are. Amite's problems, the high snap on the punt early in the game led to just a three-play drive, 17-yard touchdown drive early by Independence. And this one here, we still have yet to determine it, but that's been the key so far, has been the punting game. The problem, the mistakes that Amite has made has hurt them 10 times worse than what Independence's mistakes have done for them.
One running back, it's Harris. The give is to him, but he's stuffed. Well, I say he's stuffed, but with that pure strength, he has gotten very close to the goal line. We're waiting the decision. Independence, of course, and it's a touchdown. Good call there by the referees. A lot of Amite fans over here think that he may have been denied, but when you take a look at it, Mickey, obviously it looks like he may have been denied, but that's Joe Harris running the football. He's got such strength that he can bulldoze through 4 or 5 players to get in for the touchdown.
Well, what you're seeing is the #1 rusher in the state going against the #1 team in the state, and I think right now the individual is dominating the team. Joe Harris, it's his 4th touchdown. This is the 3rd time this season that he's gone over 4 touchdowns in a game. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion at 6:54 remaining in the 3rd. Suarez back to pass. He does complete the 2-point conversion to number 21. That's Perkins on a similar play earlier that got them. That's Ray Collins with the 2-point conversion, and that is a key 2-point conversion. It's 26-13. Independence, number 2, taking it to Amite Warriors, number 1, 26-13. We'll go back real quick and trying to recap. That's back-to-back scores for the first time this evening by one of the ball clubs. Independence, they've gone tit for tat. Independence scored first. Amite answered. Amite came back with the Foster 52-yard pass to Deemer. Harris scored with about 58 seconds left in the first half. And thanks to the bad kick, they didn't have to go but 3 yards on that one, and they've got their 2nd score in a row. And the kick is going to go out of the end zone. That's where it'll be down. And we're going to go down the field to hear from Benny Latino.
Todd and Mickey, just a 5-yard dive up the middle by Joe Harris. He carried 5 would-be tacklers on him. At least 400 pounds. At least 400 pounds he carried on him. Coach Baglio and them are really excited on the other side. The fans are hollering, we're number 1. And Coach Baglio also said that he needs to keep doing the things that they're doing right. Force Amite to make the turnovers. They're the big play team. They're going to force Amite to make the turnovers. Back to you guys.
Coach Baglio appears to have said the right things during halftime. Of course, Amite, the key here, as Mickey preluded, has been the punting game. They haven't been able to do it. But then again, you got to credit Independence's defensive line, led by Rex Gazzardo, doing a tremendous job, Mickey, of not only containing Deemer as he tries to go outside, but doing a good job of sacking him and tackling him for a loss.
Well, one thing that Independence has done that Amite has failed to do is they're wrapping their arms. And even if they're not wrapping their arms, they're already swinging them to where they're making them trip over them. So that's a big thing. Joe Harris is bouncing off people, and Amite offensive people aren't. Back to pass, the pass is incomplete. Boy, Deemer's misfiring tonight. I think he's only got 1 completion in about 8 attempts, and he's got 2 completions to the Independence Tigers. So Deemer needs to come on and have a good night. He had 2 key plays in the first half, got the 2 scores. He was very vital parts of that. One, the 40-yard run, the other 52-yard pass. But that's all you've heard from Deemer tonight. I think right here, Joe Harris has a little bit to prove. He's lost to Amite 3 years in a row. This year, he's trying to make amends.
Big 3rd down play here for Amite. Not only is it a big play to get the 1st down and probably go down and consume this drive, but if they don't, they're going to have to punt the football, and we know how much danger that causes for them tonight. Deemer back to pass. He goes to the sidelines, and it's nearly intercepted. It could be a fumble on the play. We'll await the referee's decision, and he calls it Independence football. I don't know. It's a very tough one for me to call. I'm kind of a little shocked at the fact that they may have called that a completed pass. Mickey?
Well, Anthony Hurst picked the ball up. I mean, he picked off the pass right there in the flat. The ball should not have been thrown. Deemer just trying to force it. Hurst read the play perfectly. And then when he got tackled, he fumbled the ball forward. That's when Rex Gazzardo happened to be in the right place at the right time, recovered the ball on about the 6-yard line. So very big, 2 big plays in a row that go towards in favor of the Independence Tigers.
.6:05 left to play. And Joe Brown off of left tackle, close to the goal line. Now 2nd and goal for Independence. Now if you think about this series, Mickey, this for the Tigers is a huge drive. They are definitely going to want to come out of this with 6 points out of this.
But it's the second drive that started inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, unbelievable. They're going to want to put some points on the board here. If they don't, it'll be a disappointment fumble on the football play. Amite takes the football.
The momentum that shifts in this game, the momentum is unbelievable. One way to the other. It's just ungodly the way the momentum has been shifting. And on that play, boy, that was a life-saving play, a game-saving play. Joe Harris, I don't know how often he gets some reps in the backfield as a running back, but in that play, I don't know if I questioned the call and given it to you gave it to Big Brown on the play to get you down right on the goal. I think I'd have went with my bread and butter and stayed with Joe Harris.
And you preluded to it. Amite now with the momentum. They are going to want to take some time off the clock, go all the way down the football field and score here with about 5:23 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Deemer back to pass, and again, underthrows Foster. No reason for that. He was wide open, should have hit him on the numbers.
I think Deemer's pressing a little bit. That may be one of the concerns of the Amite coaches to have at halftime. Hey, Rod, calm down a little bit and just play your ball game. He's pressing a little bit. Harris is performing. Maybe that's putting a little more pressure on the youngster. I think we saw a similar situation like this last week when I think Hammond was beating Slidell 16-7 and on the 5-yard line, getting ready to punch it in and put it away. And then Slidell turned around at 95 yards. We'll see if Amite can't sit here and go 97, 98 yards on this one. And that play, Deemer kind of lunges forward just to get him in get a little more real estate to work with. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. That's nowhere near the 1st down marker, but we've got just about 5:05 left and counting of the 3rd quarter. And the key part to any ball game, be it basketball, football, when you have when your game is separated by halves, is how you come out from the second half. The first 5 to 10 minutes of the second half, and every ball game can make or break you. And in this situation, it almost broke Amite. Should they have scored in that one, but they did not. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
With about 4:42 left to play in the 3rd, and this is a big play. Amite will call a timeout.
This very exciting 3rd quarter action is being brought to you by Buster's Furniture Company, your friendly home-owned store located just 1 block west of I-55 on Highway 16 west of Amite, where you can find major name brand furniture and professional advice on decorating. Financing is available. They're easy to find and easy to work with. Drop in and see Davis and Chuck soon, or call 748-9048. Buster's Furniture Company in Amite. Amite Hometown Farm and Garden Center and Ace Hardware is happy to be a sponsor for this 3rd quarter action. They're located at 301 Northwest Central Avenue in Amite. Hometown Farm and Garden Center is your authorized Purina dealers and Ace Hardware dealers in Amite. Hometown is diversified to meet all your home and garden needs.
Back to the contest. 3rd and 2 now for Amite. Give to the up back. He won't get much more than maybe a yard or so. Big play there for Amite.
I think it's going to be close.
They may have to bring out the chains, Mickey.
Yeah, it's going to be close. They really need to pick this first down up. First down is very important to at least establish themselves, get a little bit of time. If there's one thing that Independence wanted to do is they wanted to sustain some long scoring drives. Even if it wasn't scoring drives, they wanted to sustain long drives. They've done just that. And their 3 touchdown drives of the first half, they had the ball for 23 plays, 159 total yards, and 10 minutes and 17 seconds were taken off the clock. Conversely, Amite, on their scoring drives of 92 yards, consisted only 2 plays, it took only 21 seconds. So you see the quick strike ability of Amite, and you see the ground control and time-consuming drives of Independence. Independence is playing a lot better. Their game plan is going to be the dominant game plan, and it may wind up winning the game for Independence.
4th and 1, huge play for Amite. If they don't convert it, if they don't convert it, it's Independence ball again inside the 20-yard line. He gets it, first down, no problem. However, flag on the football. And it appears it may be against Independence. So they'll pick up the first down plus this penalty marker. Offsides against Independence. So Amite is still alive. Offsides against Independence, and they will face a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line with 4:20 left to play in the 3rd quarter. And they're going to want a big drive here to put some more points on the football scoreboard. The key thing, if they do score, will be the conversion. Deemer back to pass. Puts it up. Nearly intercepted, but Kirsten Foster was the intended receiver, and he did a good job of blocking it up. Torrance Joseph was there for Independence to almost make the interception, Mickey.
Also on the play was Reginald Tofield. Talking to some of the Independence coaches before the game, they really weren't afraid of the Amite passing game. They were going to kind of play almost a matchup, a man-to-man matchup zone with a little bit of zone in it, you know, kind of like a boxing one. They're going to kind of try to play the zone, and then in cases they had to go man-to-man, play the man-to-man into the zone area. Tofield has great recoverability is what he really has. That's why they allow him to stay on number 6, Kirsten Foster.
Foster to pass again, rolls to his right. He'll run the football for about a gain of 3 yards, a little bit more than that, to about the 21-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down now for Amite. It'll be 3rd and about 7, maybe even 6 yards. So again, they get the 4th down conversion, but now faced with a 3rd and 5.
Well, I think you got to give, you got to compliment the Independence defense. They're really playing. They are the dominant aspect of this game. Take away Joe Harris, they're the dominant aspect. Harris is just having a whale of a night, and he's doing it against some big-time competition in front of some big-time folks. So key down here, 3rd down and 5, 3:47 left in the contest.
Well, you knew Harris was going to have the big game. So the star so far has been the Indy defense. Deemer keeps it around the left side, but he'll be stuffed. No, maybe not. Good athleticism there on the part of Rod Deemer.
And I think one thing you got to start doing here with Deemer, if he's pressing and he's behind, Amite hasn't been behind this year, so it's a whole new experience for him. They're not handling it the best way. I don't think Donald Correa would like them to handle it a lot better. But in this situation, instead of having him bounce back and pass, I think I'd have him run. It's a more natural ability. It's a more natural feeling. There's not a whole lot of thinking. It's just reactive. In this situation, I think Deemer just needs to let his athleticism take over.
He wants to pass again. It's complete. Kendall Tate, 65-yard screen pass all the way down to the 17-yard line. The Independence defense stunned as Kendall Tate takes it 65 yards on the screen play. And they're setting up shop quickly. Time is clicking down, 3:02 left to play in the third. Foster is your lone wide receiver off to the left side. Crowd on its feet. Mabry, 17-yard touchdown run, bursts up off the left tackle, 26-19. The key here is the extra point. Do you go for two? There's an Independence player hurt on the football field. That's the delay. Can't quite make out his jersey number. The pads are being taken off of this young gentleman down on the football field. And it appears that that player, whoever it is hurt on the Independence side, was the same player who may have made that tackle on Mabry. It was a tremendous collision at the goal line. Now it's 26-19. It's a whole new ball game, Mickey.
We'll go back to the previous play. You saw Deemer in that instance. He just barely got out of the grasp of Big Joe Brown. That was the first key of that play. The second one was Kendall Tate. All of a sudden, he's wide open. He turned it and he ran north-south and not east-west. He turned it and went straight up. And then, a very key play, Travis Day. He laid out a cornerback who was in hot pursuit, and that freed him up for the last 20 yards and put them in key position for Mabry to take that carry.
That Independence player is still down on the field. He is laying in the end zone. And that's Torrance Joseph, who is being helped off the football field. Let's take a break and hear from some of our sponsors.
One of our sponsors, Dr. Ed Martello of the Amite Chiropractic Center, is located 101 South Bay Street in Amite. Dr. Martello is the only full-time chiropractor in Amite. That means you can call and get an appointment with him, in most instances the same day. That's Dr. Ned Martello. His phone number, 748-8877.
2:49 left to play here in the third quarter, and Amite has struck right back, and they trail this contest by 7 points.
I think you go for one. I think you go for one in this situation because you're more likely to get it. You still need to get another 7. You get a thing here, you can still go up with another 7-point conversion later. They get the kickoff, and it is good. Obi Dillon.
The extra point is up and good. So at 2:49 left to play, Amite takes the lead. Independence still leads this contest 26-20. The Amite crowd excited, to say the least. They're only down 6 points.
One of our sponsors with this very exciting third quarter action. Compliments Pete Senior and Pete Junior, registered pharmacist at Pete Value Right Pharmacy of Independence, located at 101 West Pine Avenue. That's 101 West Railroad Avenue in Independence. That's Pete Senior and Pete Junior at Pete Value Right Pharmacy in Independence, located 101 West Railroad Avenue in Independence.
Amite to kick off. In and out of the hands of Harris. He gets the ball at the goal line. Stuffed at about the 20-yard line, and that's where Independence will set up shop. Big drive here for Independence, Mickey.
Well, they had the ball in a similar situation, not this far away. They were only 77 yards away at the close of the first half. And they had that really fine drive, a 15-yard play, 77-yard drive that consumed 7 minutes and 4 seconds of the clock. That was at the last drive of the first half. Now, if Independence can do the same thing here and establish the control of the line of scrimmage and have Joe Harris pick out 5, 6, 7-yard pop, you know, the momentum's going to shift right back again to Independence.
Joe Harris. Joe Harris stuffed on that play. Brought down by Amite's Keith Burton. Joe Harris was slammed to the ground. The key thing is, though, he got right back up. The Amite crowd, extremely loud. Of course, the Amite crowd right behind us here in the Tangipahoa Television Broadcasting booth. Malone setback. He wants to pass. He gives it off. And that was to Tofield on the draw play for about a gain of 2 or 3 yards, not more than that. Well, Mickey, welcome to the booth.
Fun booth.
It's a loud one, that's for sure. As we are right in the middle of everything, and that's exactly where we want to be to bring you the action here on Tangipahoa Television. 1:16 left to play in the third. 26-20 Independence. Is they're going to need a big drive here. Coach Baglio and the Independence Tigers' backs are against the wall. He wants to pass, puts it up deep, but it's overthrown. Intended for number 4, Marlon Johnson, but the pass was overthrown. And Amite's defense has done the job. And Independence will be forced to punt.
And as you've seen earlier, the punting game has been the guessing game so far. It's been the question mark of everything. A couple of big plays that have gone in favor of Independence on the punting game. We'll see if they can't get the punt off here. Number 64, Robbie Powell, will do the punting. He's been quick to get the boot off, and he needs to do so here.
If Amite can get a good return, they'll have excellent field position. Oh, and of course I stuttered my speech because I thought it may have been blocked, but not nearly. Here's McGee off to the left side, and he's brought down hard by number 72 on Independence. Give credit to Chris Thompson, but McGee with a pretty gutsy return. They'll set up with good field position.
I think you also have to give credit to number 4, Marlon Johnson. He came down and stayed in his lane instead of committing to the inside. He had 3 Amite warriors in his face. However, he stayed where he was at, forced McGee back to the middle, and that's where Thompson came in with the big lick.
This very exciting ball game is being brought to you by Amite. And Amite, Alessi's Appliances, Amite Chiropractic Clinic, Big 4 Auto Parts and Smitty Supply, Buster's Furniture Store in Amite, Custom Tees and Sweats located in Hammond, Drive-In Drugstore of Amite, Representative Buster Gazzardo, Mayor Reggie Goldsby, Gazzardo Cleaners, Hometown Farm and Garden Center, and Ace Hardware of Amite, Huck Milling Company located in Independence, Husser's City Glass and Husser's Radiators, People's Bake of Amite and Kentwood, Pete's Value Right Pharmacy, located in Independence, Robert's Hair Design of Hammond, and Jerry Trabona, a candidate for police chief here in Amite.
51 seconds left to play. Coach Career, a little upset with his players on the field. Injured player for Independence is Marlon Johnson. He's down on the football field. It looks to have been maybe a hip injury. And the more he walks, the more it looks like it may have been a knee or maybe even the hip. They were stretching his legs, which apparently, from what I've heard, whenever they do that, it appears that it may be a hip injury. But he walks off in pretty good shape. Amite at the 40-yard line. Kendall Tate is the lone setback. Deemer gives it to Tate, but he's stopped. And again, the Independence line doing the job early. Now they're faced with about a 2nd and 9.
It's going to be a key set of downs for the Independence defense. See if they can hold here, see how stout that defense has come. They've been on the field quite often in this third quarter. Pretty much how the Amite defense was in the second quarter. So they may be getting wore down, especially late in the game, because they have more players going both ways than do the Amite Warriors.
This will be the last play of the third quarter. Tate the setback. Deemer keeps it around the left end. He'll get close to the first down. Regardo and Thompson on the stop there for Independence. First down, Amite. And 6 seconds remain for the third quarter. And they're going to let the time run off. We're headed to the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter action's being brought to you by Gazzardo's Cleaners in Amite and Speedy Cleaners in Greensburg, Kentwood, and Roseland. They provide many services for their patrons, giving fast, efficient service on dry cleaning, laundry, alterations, tuxedo rentals, air linen of wedding gowns, shoe repair, cornrows, pillows, furs, leather, and suede. Bring your drapes to us for expert cleaning and pleating. That's Gazzardo's Cleaners, located in Amite, and Speedy Clean in Kentwood, Roseland, and Greensburg. They'll help you take care of all your cleaning needs. Also, give your horse the edge on health and physical fitness. Use Horseman's Edge feed from Purina, available in pellets and sweet feed. You can buy that available at Huck Milling Company and Independent.
Flags on the play. False start against Amite. Illegal procedure, against Amite.
The defense jumped on that play and got back in enough time. However, number 66, Big Damian Foster, kind of got the jumps, and he moved a little bit. So with note, we still have the full 12 minutes on the clock. And boy, if the fourth quarter is anything like the first three, we're going to, hold on to your seats.
And Deemer keeps the football, and he's stopped by the Independence defensive line. And that'll be a loss of at least 5 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 16. 2nd and 16 now for Amite. If you're just joining us, it's been a whale of a football game. We'll try to recap the second half scoring for you. It's 6:54 left to play in the third. Joe Harris went out from 2 yards away. The 2-point conversion was good. They led that one 26-13 at that point, but Amite has just struck back. A 12-yard run by Tyrus Mabry. PAT was good. It's 26-20. They have the ball. 2nd and 16. Big play. Deemer to pass. Goes up top. Just beyond the outstretched hands of Arthur McGee. If Arthur McGee was 2 or 3 inches taller, ladies and gentlemen, it'd be a tie football game, but he's just a few inches short. Now, Mickey, it's 3rd and 16. Big play here for Amite.
Well, it's decision time. Do you go try and get it all right here, or do you go for it, go try and get 2 plays to get to 16 yards? Because they're not going to kick the extra point, and they're probably not going to punt. So it's just actually 2 downs to get 16 yards right here.
He wants to pass. Good protection. And again, just over the outstretched hands of the Amite receiver, and that was Corey Montgomery. So Amite has decided in those last 2 plays to go for it all, go for the jugular, and tie this one up early on here in the fourth quarter.
Not so sure I agree with that, because Montgomery, as he was running down the field, looks like he could have just kind of did a little button hook, and he could have sat right there by the yard marker, and they could have delivered that play and got some positive yardage out of it. Amite looks like they're going to go ahead and try and punt the ball away. I guess it's not a bad decision. You got 50 yards behind you. They snap it over your head this time. You got some real estate to work with. But I don't want to jinx them here, but Burton's going to drop back to punt. And they're not going to put anybody back deep for Independence. They may try to put the rush on, or they just may think that they're bluffing here with the Amite punt. The snap, the kick, it's going to go deep and out of the end zone. Pretty good, pretty smart play by Baggs.
Yeah, it was a smart play. Also, you got to remember, Amite has a tendency to fake a few punts. And, of course, Coach Baglio was thinking either to stop the fake punt, and then again, if you had a receiver back there, the key thing is anytime you get a punt inside the 20-yard line, you always just let it roll, and essentially that's what would have happened anyways. Nonetheless, 10:55 left to play in this one. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line here for Independence. Joe Harris is in the I formation. Amite needs good defense on this series. Harris gets the ball around the right side. Good play, gain of 8 yards there by Harris.
Impressive run. He got a full head of steam up, and he just turned it upfield. Instead of going left to right and letting that Amite pursuit, Amite does have a tendency sometimes to over-pursue. They like to get 5, 6, 7 hats on the ball. In that instance, Joe Harris turned it upfield, and he got some real good yardage on it. It'd be interesting to see what Joe Harris finishes with. He had 114 at halftime. Hasn't had many carries, but then again, Independence hadn't had the ball much. They've got 10 minutes and 19 seconds left in this game, and Baggs would like nothing better than to have it this whole 10 minutes. The give again is to Harris. He's stacked up, and as you see, there's 7, 8, 9 hats around the ball, trying to put as many licks on Joe Harris and wear him down as much as possible. This is the time of the game where it's really a gut check time, not only for both defenses and offenses, but, you know, personal. And a guy like Joe Harris has a lot of pride and a lot of guts.
And as we take a look here at this tremendous crowd here at Warrior Stadium, certainly has to be one of the largest crowds I've ever seen at a high school football game. It doesn't get any better than this.
I think the only game I've ever seen that could compare to this one was back in 1982. We played, it was old District 12 Quad A. Now it's the district with Bonneville. It used to be Bonneville, East Jefferson, West Jefferson, East St. John, and Errett. And that year they had a Gary James-led West Jefferson Buccaneers, as well as the Errett with Tyrone Vaughn. And we were at West Jefferson Stadium, and there was about 15,000 people packed in a stadium similar to this one. So I've seen a bigger crowd, but I don't know if I've seen people more into it as much as this one. That one was a slugfest. That one went down to I think it was like a 43 to 42 ball game, and Gary James, who was the premier running back in the state in that game, wound up scoring 6 times. So I see some comparisons with Joe Harris and Gary James. I mean, you got the #1 running back back then. You've got the #1 running back here. Both of them have excelled and led their team to victories. Well, that's not yet for an Independence, but seemingly so right now.
Joe Harris there gets to carry about a gain of 1 or 2. And speaking of the big crowd, the entire University of Kentucky football coaching staff is at this football game. The head coach of the LSU football Tigers, Curly Holman, is also somewhere in Warrior Stadium. He is somewhere around here checking out Joe Harris and many other players, and maybe our own crack reporter Ken Benitez might be able to grab Curly Holman before the night's over. What do you think?
I think if Curly's around here that he's incognito, because the way the Tigers are going this season, he's not very popular here in Amite.
You know, he's seeing a better Tigers football team on this field than he has on his own football field.
On that play, you saw number 10, Montre Walker, stick his head in there and hit Harris first. He kind of got him off his horse a little bit before Cedric Tillman could hog tie and collar him. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 as Joe Harris trying to make it work here in the 4th quarter. Amite defense rising somewhat so far to the occasion.
3rd and 6 now for Independence. Harris, the lone setback. Big play here for Indy. He wants to pass. Over the middle, intended, number 4, incomplete. What a tremendous hit, but again, what a tremendous catch by Marlon Johnson, who simply reached up and grabbed that pass out of the air. A good pass and Independence throwing the football well all evening long, Mickey.
Well, I think Luke Suarez, and he's given the kind of performance that you thought you would get out of Rod Deemer, who is one of the top 8 passers in the state. But Suarez coming in here and doing a fantastic job of a high completion percentage, as well as taking his time, standing big in the pocket.
Key thing here is the time is in their possession here. I mean, well, excuse Harris around the right end for about a gain of 5 yards. And every time that running back touches the football, he doesn't do it with flash and style, but nonetheless, he gets 5 yards a carry, it seems. Independence here. And the key thing here, Mickey, is time is clicking off of this clock.
And that's exactly right, Todd. I mean, that's been the game plan all night. We said it earlier in the week and the pregame shows that we did, and all the buildup was Independence running game. If they could get it established, they may have a chance. As it stands now, they have more than a chance. They have a 6-point lead and the ball.
Harris, believe it or not, gets out of there with about a 2-yard gain. You have to give credit to the Independence offensive line on this drive. They may not have been doing the job early on in the football game. I know I criticized them at halftime, but nonetheless, on this drive, it seems like they're really getting off the line quickly.
I think what they're doing is they're getting on top of the blockers. The defensive linemen aren't underneath, getting the underneath push which they need to do to get under the shoulder pads. And then in turn, that's letting those big, heavy guys from Independence lean on them a little bit, and they're not able to get an arm tackle, and much less probably not even see around the guy who's in their face.
3rd and 2. To give to Harris around the right side. He'll get the first down. Question is, how much more will he go? He'll get to about the 25-yard line. Flags on the play. There was a fumble on the play, but Independence will recover. Well, Amite now is signifying that they have the football. I'm a little confused as to what exactly is going on. I mean, was there a fumble?
Yeah, on that play you saw when Harris tried to turn the corner, it looked like the guy who was sailing off the block on the right end. Maybe we got a handful of number 90, Cedric Tillman. He's been having a whale of a game all night long. For Harris, as he always does, as his wont, he's trying to get the extra yard. He was fighting, and as he hit the ground, the ball came loose. The side official came up real quick and called it down. The ground cannot cause a fumble. He called it down. They were still scrambling for it, but it all goes for naught because of the holding penalty. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 12 opportunity. 6 minutes, 42 seconds left in this contest. Big play here for Independence.
3rd and 12. He wants to pass. He does to the screen pass. Flags on the play. It appears it may have been holding on Independence. We await the referee's decision. Play for Independence. 3rd and 22. Close to the first down yardage.
That play got back to the original line of scrimmage where the Independence Tigers will punt the ball. Powell gets the boot. It's taken on his own 18-yard line by Anthony Hurst. He's going to try and reverse his field. He's doing some dipsy-do, but he's brought down from the backside by number 60 for Independence, Jarvis James. Excuse me, that was Arthur McGee on the carry for Amite. Very key possession here, and the fumble on the snap. Deemer tries to dance outside. He does get about 4 yards or 5 yards. A real key thing on that, on the exchange of, on the punt, was that the proper personnel was not on the field for Amite. That forced Donald Career to call a timeout. Back to play, 2nd down and 4. Back to pass, Deemer with the pump fake. Hits the open receiver, who is Rod. That's Deemer. Burton, excuse me. That was a little dipsy-do. They got us all confused. Kirsten Foster was the one who got the snap, and he threw it to the receiver, who turned in to be Rod Deemer. Career reaches into his bag of tricks, but on that one, the quarterback couldn't reach under center and get the proper snap. There's a fight and there's a scramble underneath. Looks like Independence may be on this ball. If Independence has recovered this football, this could be a very, very big turnover. They did not. Looks like big number 51 for Amite. Greg Cotrera may have fallen back on the fall, but it's a 1-yard loss. Second down and 11. We've got 4:26 remaining in the contest. Deemer sets up shop. He's going to come around right side. He's going to fake it. He comes back inside. He hurdles one guy, and Deemer. Only one man to beat, Joe Harris. 3-on-3, and he runs him out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Rusty Barlow with a huge block. The right side of that offensive line for Amite just came across very big on that play.
Ben Latina back with the action. Rod Deemer under center. He drops, he fumbles. I don't know who's got the ball right. Independence made the recovery. What a play. Big play for Independence. They needed a fumble recovery to stop the Amite drive.
Independence. Joe Harris around the left side. He's stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1. What of a big play here. 2nd and 9. And he's stuffed. Now faces 3rd and 9. Joe Harris up the middle. Gets the first down. A critical first down for the Independence Tigers. Forced to punt. It's off. Not a very good punt at all, and this could be costly for Independence. It takes an Amite roll all the way to the 25-yard line. A 10-yard punt. This game is not over yet. Stand by. Amite 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Deemer is going to roll right and run it. But he's stuffed. Big play there by Independence. They're going to need to do that. Deemer wants to pass. He does, and this time he hits McGee, but stuffed near the first down yardage, and it's a gain of maybe 4 or 5 yards.
I think this is by design. Independence letting them have the nickel and dime and run off the clock. The clock's more important than the yardage.
He wants to pass. It's incomplete. Gentlemen, the football game rests on this one particular play. 4th and 1. Deemer rolls left, and he will be stuffed. The ball game belongs to Independence. They have upset the Amite Warriors. 26-20, but there is still 1 minute 9 left to play in the game.
With 1:09 left, Independence has but to kneel on the ball a couple of times, and it's over. I think there'll be Independence will be some happy trails for the next 6 miles as they go back to Independence.
41 seconds left to play in Independence. Finally, for the first time in 8 years, they have beaten the Amite Warriors. 26-20 as this game is coming down to a close, as is my voice. The Independence Tigers and Mickey, Joe Harris.
I guess that's the 2 words you hear, and I think he's coming in, you know what I'm saying? But this is the first time in, what was it, 1987 was 84 was the last time you picked the score 24-20 in the pregame stuff we did, Todd. It's 26-20. Number 2 has become number 1, and I don't look for Amite to drop much further than number 2, and I look for these 2 teams to meet again next time, possibly the Superdome.
Benny, it flat out doesn't get any better than this. A football game with heart, emotion, and more importantly, a battle that everyone in this Tangipahoa Parish area will remember for a long time.
Todd, the best ball game I've seen in years. We'll just be blunt about it. The best ball game I've seen in years. Independence, the last quarter, players catching cramps. The guys they had going both ways wearing down. Coaches on the other side were getting worried. They sucked it up, made the big defensive plays when they had to make the plays. Gotta go with Joe Harris, offensive MVP. Joe Brown, defensive MVP. Amite, Rod Deemer, offensive MVP. And number 90, I thought Cedric Tillman, possibly MVP on defense, played above his. But what did I say earlier? Marlon Johnson will make the big plays, big receptions, and great defensive play. Best ball game. The Independence fans aren't even leaving the stadium. Packed house, probably over 4,000 people here at least.
The Amite fans are still here in the stands as they're stunned as their number 1 ranked Warriors fall to the number 2 ranked Tigers of Independence. 26-20. Thank you very much for joining us here on Tangipahoa Television.